I think we're live. So, hello everyone. Welcome back to the 28th episode of the Home Theater Hub. Man, it's been 28 straight weeks. And I have my wonderful co-host Paul Croson in the house. And he showed up as usual, fashionably early, 20 seconds before the show kicked off. And
Yeah, yeah,
I was
that's
almost
10
prepared to
seconds
go
earlier
alone
than
without
normal.
you.
He had
But
to get his beer, man.
I know,
Like,
right?
Yeah, that is true. That is why I was not a minute early.
Yeah, and I think what happened is you were on your way to the desk and you finished the beer you had in hand, so you had to go back and grab another one. So,
See, Ike knows me now. He's like, oh, wait, I need a refill already.
but yeah, it's good to have you on, and our special guest, Michael Youthman. I don't even know if I should call you special guest. You're like,
The-
you know,
now
a man that needs no
the man that
introduction.
needs no
The one,
introduction.
the only, the not yet infamous, but already famous, Michael, the youth
Yep,
man, YouTube aficionado.
extraordinary.
Anyway,
something like that.
Yeah,
yeah, something like that, right?
have you been, Michael?
I'm good, man.
It's good to
My
have you
daughter
back on the
graduated
show.
yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's 18. It's our last kid in school. So we got 4 that have gone through school and graduated. So that was pretty cool. And it's going to be neat seeing her go into nursing. She's going off to college next year.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, personally, just a lot going on. Good stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, that's great. 4 kids through college, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Well, they're not through college yet. We're still paying for that mess. But
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the American way, right? But they made it through. That's the most important thing is you finish what you started, and
yeah, we got
hopefully one day we pay off
one
all
that's
that.
been through college, and then my oldest daughter, my son, he went to community college for a little bit, but he basically just went into a trade working
Yep.
for my sister.
Yep.
And then he's got his TikTok channel that he's
Oh
doing
yeah,
really well with.
he's doing really well, man. I follow him on there, man.
He just got back
his
from Poland.
he's a superstar out there, right there on TikTok
Yeah.
right now.
He's
Jeez.
doing very, very well. They invited him out to Poland, paid for his whole trip, and
Oh,
he got to meet some game developers on 2 new games I think they're releasing. So he'll be, I think tomorrow's the what they call the embargo date. So he'll be able to launch launch his
talk about
video
yeah.
talking about the game. People know the game is coming. They just haven't seen any
They,
gameplay
yeah,
footage of it. So they'll get to see. I think everybody got to play about 3 hours of the game. So
yeah. If he went to Poland, I think I probably have an idea what game that is that we're
yeah.
talking about. But
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know the name of the game. I'm not familiar.
embargo. There's a couple of games that are
Like I said, the game's announced. Nobody's just
yeah
seen
the
gameplay of it.
gameplay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So
that
I'm
would
not
be
sure.
good, man. Yeah, it looks
But
like
yeah, cool opportunities are opening up for him, and he's having a blast. And like I said, my middle daughter, she's probably 3/4 the way through. She's studying nursing. Don, you better be on a family
dude, this guy's
whatever,
trying to
man.
get us in trouble, man. Like full disclaimer,
If we see a frying pan or a
got
shoe coming off
something
the street,
hit you. Yeah,
Look, I
we'll know
got full
who's in trouble.
permission, okay? The wife said Michael was being on the show so I could come on. So that's
yeah.
exactly what she said.
Uh,
Mm.
So you got
Okay.
the wife acceptance factor from Michael.
yeah, he
Michael
you
got
know.
the
just can't.
wife acceptance.
What he didn't tell us is he just can't come back inside. She kicked him outside tonight.
Yeah,
Man,
He's
yeah,
on the
that
detail
sounds
out.
more like it. You look like you're on a patio without any mattress or something. You know,
Yeah,
sleeping
man. It's,
outside.
no, I'm down here in sunny Key Largo enjoying some family time. So we
That's
went to the
awesome.
beach today, just got done eating some dinner. So you see the stars behind me. Literally the sun just sat like literally like 30 minutes ago.
Oh,
It was
okay. You are
crazy. So
you're living la vida loca, like they say. So yeah, let's quick shout out to a few guys in the chat. Michael, Ariel, Taylor, if you're in the chat, just drop, say something, say hi to youthman. If you don't care about the rest of us, just say hi so we can know you're in the chat, so we can give you a shout out. But it's good to have everyone back, And what have you been up to, Paul? Besides cracking
Uh,
open a beer, got
yeah,
anything
well,
new going on?
besides opening up more beers, just summer's here, so just clean the car and getting it ready to bring the paddle boards down to Arkansas to do some paddleboarding this weekend. And
What
since
part of Arkansas are you going to?
we usually go to Beaver Lake to paddleboard.
Oh, okay,
It's like
nice.
super. It's like the only in one of the few open inland lakes that you can actually go scuba diving in. It's so clear. It's a really clean lake, but it's fun. It's close. It's when I say close, it's like a 4-hour drive down south.
Yeah.
We do that every weekend. So
Yeah, Arkansas was home for me for over 10 years, so I get excited when I hear that word. It's crazy out
Yep.
there, but it's good. I'm not even going to
Yeah,
ask Don what he's up to, but did
yeah, we
anyone
know what
take
he's
off
doing.
tomorrow for Memorial Day weekend? I know it's Friday. It's supposed to be a long weekend, but
I'm working, man.
you work, Michael. You're always working, man.
Yeah,
even if the universe gave you a day off, you
Yeah.
still find a way to work.
It's nice to have them off, but yeah,
Yep.
it's hard to do that.
Yep.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah, I understand. So, but it's going to be a long weekend, and I'm looking forward to it. And fortunately, I have tomorrow off, and I have Monday off, so I'm going to be doing a
Man.
lot of sleeping and resting and trying to put some content out there. So, and hopefully, I can get to 1,000 subscribers this weekend. So,
Oh yeah,
I
we're
am.
really,
What I
you're
think I'm
really
like what 5 or 6 or 7 shy of 1,000. So. If you're not
Yeah,
yet
if you guys
subscribed, go hit
haven't
that subscribe
subscribed to the
button.
channel,
And let's see if we
go
can
ahead
get
and
there
put
this
an icon, the
weekend.
monetary status.
Let's-
Tell your wife and your wife's friends and
I know,
your
right?
wife's boyfriend to subscribe.
Yeah, they're probably already part of the 900 plus I have. So I just need to get 7 more strangers to become friends. But yep, but yeah, what you got on, Don?
We're just plugging along here. Decided to take a family vacation. It's my anniversary this Sunday, so
nice, man.
but,
How many years?
if the show if the sh- 2018, so 6 years.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, I asked you how many years. You give me your date. 6 years, man.
I had to do the quick calculations,
Like, oh man.
So, but yeah, we were together for
Hey,
like
thank
6
you,
years.
Rob. Thank you, Rob, for subscribing. I appreciate that. We'll get there hopefully by the time the weekend is over. So.
Well, I tell you what's not required in Don's relationship is a theater. How is that thing coming along?
Oh
So
dang.
it's not.
Man,
It's still not.
you
So,
started up early, huh, Paul?
Well, I just
You know-
trying to get it out of the way. Miguel is
Just a reminder.
he is basically will be interior finished this weekend,
Yep,
ready to start
that's nice.
moving in.
yep,
So
yeah. So let's get into it. We don't want to keep Michael up all night. And we want Don to be able to go in and get some rest tonight, or whatever he decides to get
is that
involved.
what they call it down in Key Largo? Rest.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go get some rest.
Yeah. That
All right.
sounds like what happens on there. But quickly, Michael, you just
What
got back
what
from
is that, Michael? That's how Jonathan shampoos the carpets. I think is that what it is.
Yeah, they call it
Jonathan
on the carpets.
does it.
So quickly, Michael, you just got back from Louisiana and you
Yeah,
had
I
your
did, man.
first experience of crawfish boil. I find it hard to believe. Like, you guys don't have crawfish in Florida or what? Like, how's this your
No
first time?
crawfish.
So number one, I don't eat a lot of seafood. I do eat shrimp. I'm not a big fan of lobster or crab legs. I've
Wow.
eaten it over the years. I've eaten gator tail. I've eaten scallops and things like that. But I'm just not a big seafood person. but
Yep.
I don't ever remember seeing crawfish in any seafood restaurant here in Florida. We may have it, but again, I'm not a seafood connoisseur.
Isn't
So
I don't know anything about seafood either, but isn't crawfish freshwater only?
Man, those mud bugs,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, I think it's fresh water, but
Yeah.
they're
Well,
way
that's what I'm
down
saying.
there.
I don't know that it's going to be in, ocean or salt water type of deal.
I don't know
Well, here's
if
the
that
thing. I mean, we have
water.
So
tons of lakes in Florida,
Look at
and
this.
like
Hold on.
tons.
Hey,
We
did I
have an
just?
announcement to make.
Oh wow, did we just get to 1,000? Yes,
Did you
we
hit it?
did.
Drum
Ah,
roll. Drum
congrats,
oh,
roll.
Hank.
see, Rob
Right?
was bragging that
Pop
he
it
was
up.
the
Pop it up on the
1,000th
screen.
subscriber. That's what it was.
Yes.
Look at that, dude.
Oh
Nice,
wow.
dude.
Oh
What's up,
yeah.
Giles?
Share the screen. Share the screen.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see
What do
it,
you
man.
get,
Let's
like
get
a
the
Let's
number.
see
star?
it. Let me try to. How do I even share this? Oh, you already pulled it up.
I already got it for you, man.
Oh yes. Thank you,
Nice.
thank you,
1K
thank you.
subscribers.
Gracias. I don't know. Thank you, Danke in German, whatever languages I speak out there. Thank you all. Yeah, this is really great. Keep subscribing. Let's keep subscribing. that's that's good.
Honestly, I
That,
think
On
that
the
was
road
the
to
that was the youth
2,000.
man,
artists.
effect, man. Wow. Yep.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm happy
Heck
for you.
yeah.
I'm glad
I
you
know.
were able to achieve that. So
Thank you.
where are you at on watch hours?
Oh,
You got enough watch hours?
I already knocked out the watch hours. As long as
Nice.
Paul doesn't go on unsubscribe tonight, we should still stay with 1,000. I don't.
That would
I,
be odd. Like, oh man, what?
I know, right?
So
I'll wake up tomorrow morning with,
for those. Get ready for that 30 cents for your next video that
Oh,
you
yeah.
that you
hey,
produced.
hey, that's the motivation, man. You know, that's
No, congratulations.
the extra motivation that we need. Ah, man, come on, man. There you go. There go the enemies, man. The friend.
They're showing you some love,
It's
man.
love, man. It's all. I appreciate the love, man. Thank
That's
you.
my man Fred right there. He knows.
Yep.
Just keeping it real, man. Keep you humble.
Man like Fred, man. Thanks for keeping me humble, Fred.
Yep.
I would always remember that
I
all it
mean,
takes is for.
Fred reached 1,000 long ago,
Yeah.
like in his 20s. Inside joke there.
Yeah, we get that. So yes, you did some amazing home theater tour out there. The video is not out yet, right? When do you have that coming out?
Honestly, oh man, so I'm behind. Like, there's no doubt. There's so many things I'm working on simultaneously, and that is one of them. So that video, ideally, I would love to get that finished and live. Basically, I told him, I said, give me about 2 weeks, then I'll have it live. So next week, by the end of Friday, because I'm going on a little family vacation, short one,
Oh yeah.
on a cruise. So the goal is to get that done, knocked out. And but that one was a really cool one. So if you guys remember the $1 Million Star Wars home theater that I did,
Yep.
this was his father-in-law. And so his father-in-law said, man, I love your home theater. I'd like to have one of my own. But, you know, I don't care about Star Wars. So he wanted a Western theme. And so this thing is straight up over the top, pretty much the same equipment as Charlie. So wisdom screen, 20-foot wide. Wisdom speakers, 20-foot wide screen, Sony GTZ 380 projector. Let's see, probably Trenov 32 processor, Trenov amplification. So, I mean, definitely a high-end system. A lot of money that went into this thing. But the theme of this thing is going to trip you guys out. I mean, straight up. I shared some photos.
Yeah.
I was going to say that you
room.
did a teaser photo of it on your. I didn't know if you wanted to bring that up because I like that one. That one's cool.
It's different. It's so bizarre.
Yeah,
like,
because you
walk.
You say
in
high-end theater, JVC, Wisdom,
and I'm not surprised that it's
you can
tied
name the
into,
brands in the theater before you even see it. But the themes, I love seeing the different themes.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised that it's somehow tied into the other Star Wars. So it's like it runs in the family. 'Cause when I looked at it, I was like, wow, like
Yeah.
that's, I was like, chances are those two people know each other somewhere because those are like very unique home
Yeah, they're
theaters.
definitely.
It's amazing. I love it. The whole decor and just design was just when
And
I saw the
honestly,
pictures, I was like,
some people are
wow.
going to look at that and they're going to say, I would never have done like a themed room like that. And that's
Yeah,
okay. He didn't
yeah,
build it for you. He built it for him and his family. This gentleman is 78 years old
yeah,
and he
yep,
built his theater. And Charlie basically was the inspiration behind it. Like, Tully basically just said, "Hey, look, I want a Western theme, and here's the things that I really, really love."
yeah.
And Charlie said, "Okay." And so Charlie like drew it up on paper, and had this concept of, if you look down the middle, you can see there's carpet, and then on the outsides there's hardwood. And so
Yep.
the thought there is they literally were thinking about possibly putting sand where that carpet is to represent the town. Like you were walking through a Western town.
Oh,
Oh wow.
oh, wow.
They were like, that's probably gonna be a mess. So they used carpet, and the carpet represents the street.
The
And then
street.
of
Yep.
course the wood on the sides represents like the wooden planks that you would get out in front of a Western town. So on one side you've got like a bank, you've got and none of the doors go anywhere. It's just,
Yeah.
design.
Yep.
But what's interesting, you see all the windows. The windows are either speakers or, oh my goodness, who's that dude? Behind me, you can see the blacksmith, and there's a cutout above those two doors. That's where the GTZ projector is shining through right there. In the little blue, you can see some of the LEDs back there.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, wait,
but
wait, wait,
yeah,
wait, hold on. You said the windows are what? Speakers?
yes. So if you scroll down, so you see those little black. Yep. So behind there, so basically that's just real cloth. So those are all hiding all of the Wisdom Audio line source speakers.
That's awesome.
But then some of those are going to be acoustic panels as well. So you've got a lot of diffusion. You've got some absorption. On the ceiling, there's a bunch of absorption. Of course, the carpet is doing some absorption. You've got some reflectiveness on the hardwood. So it's a really good mix. Definitely never once thought, oh man, this room's lively. Like, it's very well treated. But it's
Who
definitely
designed this room though? Like we need to
Charlie.
get them on the. He
No,
designed. He
that's what I'm
came up with
saying.
the
Charlie
design
did.
himself.
So Charlie is the one that designed his theater. Like, that was his vision. He was hands-on. I'll show some pictures of Charlie and the team actually building those acoustic panels,
Oh,
and
wow.
building out the frames. So really,
Go
really
ahead.
cool.
Put it back
So
up.
Charlie will interview him
Yeah,
too.
I'll put it back up. Let's see. Let's get the full screen. Yep.
Yeah, so that's the other side. So you can see there's a mercantile, and he'll explain in the video. If you see the building that's closest to the screen, those windows at the top it's almost like an illusion. They look bigger than what they are, just based on like perspective. And he did that intentionally. The doors aren't your typical size doors, but it makes you think that they're doors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're
Right.
smaller than your standard, whatever, 6-foot door or 7-foot door. But just super, super stinking creative. And when you walk in there, it's like a whole different dimension. So the door to that same building, right to the right of the screen, that's a double door. And Tully wanted something similar to Charlie's. And Charlie's Star Wars home theater, you walk up, you press a button, and the single door slides in like a pocket.
Yeah.
Well, Charlie said, I want a double door. Do they make something like that? And Charlie was like, well, of course they do. So you hit a button on the other side in the hallway, and that opens up the double door. So if you go through there, you're inside the building. And what you're inside, what you guys are going to find out, it's not necessarily a saloon. Good guess there, Rob. But it's actually I got to remember what they call it. There's a nice way to put it. A brothel. Yes. I was trying to figure out the nice way to say it. It's a brothel. I mean, of course, there's nothing in there that's scanty. But you'll see.
That's
They
hilarious.
probably took it out for you, man, just so you
Yeah,
don't
no,
see
no,
it.
no. There's
I
no
know.
like
I was like, does he really mean a brothel?
he legit. Yeah, because he was Tully was saying, in all the old movies, a lot of times there was a brothel.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
a
A lot of
saloon, and that
Western movies,
part,
yeah.
just part of that culture.
Yep.
So it's just interesting that he included that. And again, you don't see anything, but there's some elements there that go, oh, that's what. And we have some fun with that when he's explaining to me. And Rob, it's interesting. You mentioned Westworld. Inside, when we do a like kind of show you in the rack room. The rack room is the only place that is modern. Everything else is this style. The hallway is that style. It's pretty dimly lit. There's a lot of guns in the hallway because, of course, Westerns always have pistols and rifles and different things. And so there's a hand painting of Clint Eastwood in the hallway. So it's just some really, really cool vibes there. But that equipment room, you walk in and it's totally modern. And so in Westworld, they've got the technology side of it. And so it was just really cool how they utilized the space. But this is a big room. I mean, like a really big room.
Please tell me he owns horses. He owns horses too.
So here's the interesting thing. You go into their community, and their community, just think about living in a gated community. They have wild horses. I think there's 8 or 9 wild horses. I posted some of those on my Facebook page. Beautiful, beautiful animals, but they're literally, and sadly, Tully hates them. And the reason why he hates them is, and every day he, kind of has to shoo them off his property because they poop in his yard, and somehow the manure like messes up the grass. You'd think it would be, it literally leaves like round, big green patches in your yard, so it doesn't look even, it doesn't look the same color. But the horses are great, man. We had a chance to get pretty close. I was standing about 15 feet from these wild horses, and they're looking at me like, they're staring me down like, what are you up to, buddy? I will trample you if you come a step closer, man. But it was just cool. So he didn't own any horses, but he lives in a community with about 9 wild horses. They just had a little baby horse, so it's pretty cool.
And when I saw it, and I know as expected, right, it led to the whole conversation about, performers versus design aesthetics. And it was very interesting to see all the back and forth. And my take was, especially when you talked about, where in life the individual is, I was like, at that point, I don't care if it goes down to, if it's going down to -10, and then at that age, I'm not sure I'm worried about my subwoofers going down to 6 hertz. I just want it to look great and look good.
Yeah. And this sounds really, really good, but like you said, it's not going to hit single digits. It'll definitely get plenty loud, but as Charlie shares in the video, Tully doesn't even listen to it really loud. Like he's probably one of those like 80 dB kind of guys. Like, he might peak up to 85 peak or something like that. And every video in his Kaleidescape collection, except for I think 2, is Western. Literally every one of them. He has Maverick, Top Gun Maverick, and John Wick 4. And I think they just bought those so they could do some crazy demos.
Yeah, and they're probably Westerns from like 1964.
Old Westerns.
Like
a lot
1938
of
Westerns.
Yeah, they have 4K releases or high res.
Yeah.
So I honestly, I really am excited about sharing this one because this is going to be a different vibe and a different style of home theater tours. This gentleman was just so cool to interview, to hear his heart, his passion, his story. And honestly, even at the end, he gets quite emotional, which was way different. I've never been on a home theater tour and had somebody get emotional about their home theater and what it means to them personally. So it was really, really exciting on so many different levels.
That's amazing. And that's what I love because like I said, once you've experienced, 5 hertz, whatever, 180 dB, like I love Scott, Scott Newby's place,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
But I used to do audio competitions, and I've experienced 180 dB.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, well, maybe it'll be different in a home. It's not. It's just as amazing,
Yeah.
But it's okay once you've experienced it. It's okay, yeah. Once you've gone 300 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour is like, okay, yeah, I've gone 300. Okay, it's still cool, and I love this because most people, except for us super, snooty, oh, I gotta have 5 hertz, gotta have it flat.
Yeah.
Everyone else, this is what they remember. And
Yeah.
even you, 5 years
That's true.
down the road, you won't
Yeah.
remember, oh, well, it didn't have 5 hertz. Oh, it didn't have that good a bass. You're going to be like, oh, man, that Western theme was so cool. I remember this. I remember the guy getting emotional. That's
Yeah.
what you'll remember.
Yeah.
You won't remember the equipment. You'll be like, oh, it was one of these top 5 brands that everybody has.
And Tully
That's what I love
absolutely
about these.
Tully absolutely loves giving his friends and people tours of his setup. Like he'll take them through the whole shebang, tell them the story, tell them why these guns are important to him. Some of them are replicas, but some of them were actual guns that were passed down like from his
Oh,
mother.
wow.
So these things are like, I
Man.
mean, he's 78. So, I mean, these guns are 150, 200 years old, something like that. So they have a lot of sentimental value. So it's just, like I said, there's so many really, really cool things about this. And this part is just, think of this as half of it. The other half is the 2 hallways that he has, and then the amp room. So actually, I guess it's a fourth of what you'll get to see in the video. It's going to be a long video, probably hour 20. So this will be, yeah, it's pretty in depth, but it's so much more than just the gear. You know what I mean? I mean, we talk about the
That's
gear,
awesome.
but there's a lot of story in this from Charlie as well as from Tully. So, like I said, it's going to be a different vibe. It's not going to be your "What's up, guys?" That kind of vibe. It's more. I'm talking to a cowboy, like a straight up cowboy guy. You know what I mean? So it's a different tone. It's a different cadence in my voice and Tully's. So it was just, like I said, I was honored to be invited to come back and to Louisiana a year later to film this one. And some people are going to look at it and go, well, man, I bet you can see the reflections, like the screen reflecting onto the front wall or the side walls. Of course you can. You can see the town. It's not a pitch black void of a theater room.
Yeah.
And some people are going to look at that and they're like, oh, well, I wouldn't do that. Well, guess what? That's why you get to do your theater room the way that you want it. And Tully got a chance to do his theater the way he wanted it.
Yeah.
And like I said, dude, he is tickled pink, man. He absolutely loves it. And it's an amazing, amazing project.
Yeah.
So the question I have is, when is Atlanta Home Theater going to hire Charlie to start designing theaters?
I know, right? Because, man.
Those are just 2 phenomenal theaters there,
Yeah.
Yeah. Charlie said he'd probably never do another one again. Like he said, if I ever move, it's a huge amount of work. I mean, this is a massive undertaking. Of course, Charlie can't do it by himself. He hires carpenters to build, and he wanted like real buildings. He wanted to use real wood. That isn't fake, like some, it's a legit wooded building, and some of the materials maybe that they would have implemented back then, and so it was just done so well, man. Very, very cool.
Yeah. Looks fantastic. I can't wait to see the full video on this.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to see some of the backstage stuff from your Patreon channel. So,
Yeah.
if speaking of Patreon, if you guys haven't become a Patreon of Youthman, make sure that you go ahead and take care of that, because there's a lot of good backstage stuff that advanced, I guess, like a preview of things that he's doing, and not only that, but he has no shame in his game. He'll show you what he's doing in his
Yeah.
theater and the wires and this and that and everything else, how he's swapping this and that out. So make sure you become a Patreon. I think I've been a Patreon of yours now for almost
It's been a
4
long
years.
time, yeah.
You got those
So
cicadas there, Don? Do you have cicadas in the background?
no, man. Do you hear stuff in the background? The waves are crashing, but that's about it.
Don't scare that man. I'm more worried about crocodiles, man, because your crocodiles are busy climbing
Crocodiles.
fences.
There's no crocodiles. It's alligators. No crocodiles.
Alligators or whatever you got there, man. But to me, they're the same thing. When I see them, I run. I don't wait to identify which it is. I don't care. I'm like, I'm out of here, But that's good. But I'll quickly, before we go into MWAVE and other things, I just wanted to take a quick detour. I know that Memorial Day is coming up, and there's probably a bunch of sales, and I have a couple of websites and things that I want to cover just for anyone who is interested in getting some sales out there. But I wanted to find out from you guys, what are the top 3 gears or devices you will buy for your home theater if it were on sale today or this weekend? And also, if you're in the chat, you can put in the chat, let us know what are the top 1 or 2 if you saw it on sale today that you would buy and you think would probably improve your home theater experience, or maybe something you just wanted. So you want to start, Paul?
I don't really know, to be honest, because I'm at a point to where I like my experience, and I'm already upgrading my NAS because I've collected so many movies to watch that I've exceeded my 60 terabytes. So now I'm doubling that. So that honestly, if I've been looking for new speakers, but nothing really suits my fancy enough to be like, oh yeah, let me spend the money on that, and I'll like that or something like that, So, but to be honest, really, gosh, that's nothing really. I wouldn't mind getting like one of those HD Furies just to play around with, or I forgot what they call that, where it interlaces or it aliases your older 8-bit systems. I forgot what that device is. Damn, I can't remember. But if you're into old school games and they're 8-bit and stuff like that, it actually makes it look like it's on regular CRT TV, so it makes it look way better. And other than that, nothing really.
Yep. How about you, Michael?
See, that's the same thing, man. I've been on this journey for, in this home for 17 years, 18 years. And it's just slowly built over that time. And so I never really am chasing anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so
you
thinking,
can always upgrade, right? It's like, you can get a barcode. You can get a barcode.
I thought I saw something on the Patreon page that you sold your NZ8, right?
You might have a little inside scoop. See, my patrons made it.
Yep.
I thought you had announced that somewhere because I've heard that.
No, I don't think he announced it.
I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. Maybe it was someone mentioned it to me.
I don't think I mentioned it anywhere but Patreon. So, yeah.
Oh,
so
man, now Don spilled the beans to everyone, man. Because that's why you need to go. That's why you need to go join the Patreon account.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Shoot, maybe it was from Ryan.
See, honestly, I'm kind of with Chuck. I would love Control 4 if I could control it.
Control it, yeah.
If I could program it, everything. If I could control the macros, if I could control adding and deleting activities, and same thing with the devices, 100%. I'd love to have Control 4.
So they've actually made this a little bit more user friendly lately in the past year or so, to where you can.
it's still we will control
You
it for you.
know,
I feel like
Right.
that's what the name means. We
the
control it
next
for you. Control for. That's what it
the
means.
next control system is going to be whoever spends time creating Josh AI for home theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Josh AI will do anything and everything.
So
And
we
it's
have a
mixed
few
through
comments in the chat. So
AI.
Victor will probably get a 3-channel amplifier for his front stage. Trust me, if you can get that, your front stage
Yeah.
will love you for that.
Emotiva.
Yeah.
Yep. Michael will get a Sony Bravia 9. Yep.
Yeah, that's a
You
Nice
shit for the
TV.
big boys. I don't know how much sale you're gonna get on that one, but
Hey, you
yeah.
asked it. You said, "Hey, if there's a Youthman deal,
Yeah,
what would you
that's what I'm
get?"
saying. But
Yeah.
I'm wishing him luck that happens. You
Same thing
know.
with Kaleidescape. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm also wishing you bigger luck
right.
I'm
for
looking forward to
Escape
seeing.
on sale.
I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Bravia 9 at MWAVE when I go. Because that's an LED TV versus an OLED. So, and it's from what I understand, it's really really good. So, I'm actually in the market for either the G3 or the Bravia 9, just like for my living room. So, but
Yeah.
if I were to buy home theater gear, I'm thinking I'd have to get the big boy, the
Yeah.
99 terabyte
Ooh.
Kaleidescape drive. If I were able to get the deal that I wanted to get.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Chuck will get Control 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one that is on my list. I wish I could find it on sale. I'll get a Lumagene.
Mm.
And I'm trying to also think of maybe a dedicated music streamer.
Mhm.
That's something that I want. I feel
Ever
like
Solo.
I got the Music Cast. If you've never had a Yamaha Music Cast, man,
yeah.
that thing is like I've had my Yamaha for years, and one of my buddies bought a Yamaha, and he's like, "Oh man, I love this Music Cast," and I was like, "What? What's?" I didn't even know I had it. I mean, I knew I had it, but I didn't like look
that-
into it.
Paul, is that somewhat similar to like AirPlay on a Marantz? I'm
Yeah,
not familiar with it.
it's like Hios or
Okay, so it's
Play-Fi
built
for
into the AVR
SVX,
though.
but it is way better.
Hmm.
Like we're talking, it works. It has like everything. The graphics are amazing on your iPad, and you just click. Oh, I want to listen to this. I want to listen to that, and it just turns on your.
Now, do you have to
receiver.
download an app for that, or is that?
If you want to control it from your phone, yes, you have to download the app on your device. But if you just want to play it on your system, you can do some weird stuff. You would always just use it on your phone or an app.
Okay.
But it works so seamless.
I just wasn't sure like how it connected. Is it Bluetooth or is it Wi-Fi?
No, it's all Wi-Fi. It's full high res. You can get Qobuz, whatever all those high-end streaming things, and it works. Let's put it this way: I have the SVS Prime Wireless, and they have the Play-Fi. Man, the GUI on that thing, to put it gently, sucks ass. I mean, it works. It sounds great, but my God, it's like, wait, how do I set my preset? Where do I go? What the hell? We're on the Music Cast. It's like, oh, there's a Pandora button. You don't even know you're in the Music Cast except it says up at the top left. Otherwise, you just, let me go to Pandora, Syria, or Sirius, or whatever app you want. You click on it, and it just works. None of this.
Oh, wow.
And you can set the presets, and boom.
And that's all lossless streaming too?
Yeah, it's direct Wi-Fi.
Okay.
You gotta have the interwebs to do that. And it uses that Saber, 3 whatever Yamaha uses, and no one says Yamaha has crappy DACs. So
yeah, I'd like to get one of the NAD. What is it? The M33.
Yeah.
It's like a streamer, and it also has ARC to where you can hook, like 2-channel right up to it.
The Weeman kind of does that for really cheap.
Yeah, they got a new Ween that cheap audio man just with like a touch screen and stuff like that. They got a new Wii out. Yeah, so it's I think it's like $1,000. But yeah, I watched a review on that the other day. So Wii is stepping their game up on that. Not that it was a bad streamer prior, but
yeah, Weem is kind of the closest thing to Music Cast. It's like just has all your apps all on the logos and all that. That's a little bit closer than most of the other ones. Most of the other ones just try to do some totally different thing for some reason.
Yeah, so talking about sales that are going on, SVS does. Can you guys see my screen share?
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
okay, yeah. So SVS does have some sales going on with subwoofers, and some of the prices look really good. You can get some of these subwoofers. Now, this is what I think is the deal that is out there, man. Stack Sound.
Yeah, they're
The
always running
15?
sales. They called me
Man,
today.
I haven't listened to them, but I mean, everyone raves them really well.
Yeah.
Now, the 15 sealed is $549, and then the ported is going for $699.
Mm-hmm.
2
Super
days ago, it
affordable.
was $999. So that's a good deal. And someone put in the chat, RLX, if you want acoustic panels, they got some 25% off deals.
Mm-hmm.
oh, nice.
Yeah, so I think acoustic panels are usually the one you want to buy when it's on discount, because, man,
They get expensive.
yeah, they can get pretty expensive, especially if you want to cover an entire room. But what icks me the most is usually the shipping, man. I'm like, man, the shipping for some of those things can buy you like 4 or 5 additional acoustic panels.
That is true.
That's the size of the boxes, though. I mean, if you're getting 4x8 panels,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
gonna
of stuff
be
that goes into that.
That's a logistics price. The UPS truck
Yeah.
only has so many square feet, and if you get a special full brown truck delivery, it's going to cost you. No matter if it only weighs 5 pounds, if it takes up the
I mean,
whole
like
back of that truck.
a minimum pallet delivery is like $500, to get a pallet delivered.
Yeah, so that's not a good. I mean, it's a good time. At least if you get 25% off, that would probably help with the shipping. So, but I just wanted to share this. And I mean, for those of us in the chat, if you know any deals, you can just put them in the chat and we'll try to pop them up just so that people can get an opportunity to go out there and buy. Oh, geez, you bought 16 panels from where? Like, what are you building? In a coin chamber?
He is going all
All right,
out.
so think of it. Now, the panels could be 12 by 12.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have to be 2 by 4s.
Yeah, that's true. But
Let us know, Big.
knowing Big Jack, he probably
What
bought.
size did you get?
Bought like big panels. So.
Yeah, he said the
For
total
sure.
shipping was $200, so that might not be the big panels. Maybe, I don't know. Big
Yeah, that's
Jack
not
does-
bad. That's not bad from GIK.
For GIK, that's not bad. Yeah, for the shipping. So let's see what else.
They make some. So I've got like some of the 2x4. I'm sorry, 2x2s, and there's 2x4 panels.
Yeah, so Dome Twitter is saying he needs Apple TV, Roku 4K. I get the feeling that there's a new Apple TV coming out soon, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably gonna get
I'm
announced.
sure.
There's always going to be a new Apple TV coming out.
Yeah, I think one will probably come out.
As soon as they put out software that corrupts your old one, they'll come out with a new one.
Yeah,
So you can wait to get the new one.
yeah, that will be happening soon.
Big Jack.
4x8. He got
4x8.
16
That's massive.
4x8.
You got 16 of them?
That's a
Man,
lot of
What
stuff.
size is your
a
theater?
chamber.
Yeah, Big Jack. I want to know that. How big is your theater, bro?
That is another coin chamber, bro.
Hey, maybe he's hanging some of them from the ceiling, you know?
Yeah, but
Front
still a
wall.
big. Woo! Holy cow, man!
Yeah, we got to get him on the. We got to get Big Jack on the
Man,
on the show
he's
so
been,
he can give
he's
us a
been on the
theater
show,
tour.
right? So you need to come do an updated. I think
yeah, get them installed.
He
And
needs to
be on
come
the
do an
next show.
updated theater.
Yeah. Let's get a live
We'll call
delivery
it
recorded
the
on
acoustic
those.
panel show. I
Yeah.
know, right? Yeah, I'll live stream the delivery for you, bro. Like, we want to see 16 4x8s get delivered. Yeah, I feel sorry for that FedEx
Amazing,
driver,
big.
man. Yep,
Are you kidding? Those guys, that's lightweight for them. Now, when they delivered my tire changer and tire balancer, they may or may not have been too happy.
I
Or
know.
my lift. They weren't happy when my lift came.
That's
It's
crazy.
a portable lift, so it actually came on a UPS truck.
Oh,
But,
Oh wow.
sheesh.
yeah.
Adrian,
It was
I had no idea you were in the. We had Adrian upscaled review join. I had no idea he was in the break room. Got carried away with
my
the
gosh.
conversation.
He's been in there the whole
How
time.
long have you been sitting? Oh, he even left a message. No, it wasn't too late, bro. I didn't even see. I think you're on mute.
Oh,
You're on
that's
mute.
why. If he was unmuted, we would have heard him.
Did I
you're
mute you?
muted.
Okay, let me. I think it says I muted him, but yeah, we'll go back and forth.
That's hilarious.
Nope. Yeah, it says guest has muted himself, so you muted yourself.
So did
You
you
want to
see
unmute
the
yourself.
nonchalant message
Nah.
that
Can you hear
Scott
me?
Newby
Sorry.
showed?
Yes, we hear
There
you
we
now.
go.
Yeah, I was muted. Oh, sorry.
Where he
Amateur.
went from 153 to 156 dB on his. Did you see that little? I don't know if people understand, like, unless I'm wrong, and he's always been at 156, but I thought he was at 153, but he just showed a picture where he is at 156.1.
Yeah,
I'm like,
he's in the chat now.
that's a lot whenever you're dealing with. Once you start getting above, literally, once you start getting, I would say, once you start getting around 136, 138 decibel, every 3 or 4 dB is.
Yeah,
It takes
like-
a lot. It really
yeah,
takes
it
a lot.
starts
that
to
takes
take
a lot of pushing. Man.
a
Like,
lot because there's only so much room. You only have you get to the point where okay, now there's only so much space, right? You know, it's power, size, you know, and that's.
man, I
He's
feel
got
like I feel like his amplifiers literally sweat. Like you just walk in the rack, you just see them
Oh
dripping.
no! Humidity is scared to go into the room. There's no.
He's pushing those things, man. He's pushing them, pushing them out. But okay, let's get back.
56.1 dB is what I saw. I was like, okay, wow.
Yeah.
So since Adrian just joined, what would you, Adrian? What would you if you had a Youthman deal on any product that you could think of? What would you choose to upgrade or add to your space?
Okay. I would do a Lumigen. Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you.
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
I was thinking maybe a Lumigen Radiance Pro or one of those, or a Kaleidescape server of some kind, like a Terra or something, if that was, something that could be an option.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy. You know, I'm at the destination where I want to be with my theater.
Yep.
True story.
Shut up.
Youthman, when one of your tours was where I got inspired to do my dual surrounds, same signal for my for my dual sides.
Nice.
I think it was, I can't remember, but it was it was a tour sort of laid out like my theater.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly, but it was maybe a couple of years ago, and I was like that. It was like the light bulb went off. I'm telling my head, that's what I got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so goes to show.
You have 2 rows, or do you have 3 rows?
I don't have 3 rows, but I have 2 rows, but I got one side of sides surrounds per row.
Yeah.
Plus wides. So, but that's true story.
Yeah. Nice, man.
Just wanted to share that, I guess.
Yep, that's good.
No, man. Thank you for hopping on. We
Yeah,
appreciate any contributions. So, what I know that last time we spoke, you picked up the Kaleidescape.
I did.
You picked up a Strato S, right? So, what are some of your initial thoughts?
That could be a Youthman deal. Let's put it that way. That was a nice second-hand purchase. I paid
Nice.
$3,500. You know, which is still a chunk of change, but
Sure.
I'm liking it. I've made a few observations about. First of all, it plays great. You know, the picture quality is perfect, and obviously I have my own like movie server that I built myself, like a lot of enthusiasts do,
Mm-hmm.
and I have over 2,000 movies on the thing. So I don't think it's ever going to replace that. This is more like getting premium video on demand. Like when a movie comes out, like let's say I just saw Fall Guy last night.
Right.
I bought it for $25 the first day. I was like, okay, I would have bought it on iTunes. So now that I have Kaleidescape, I'll buy it there. So that's sort of like my use case. I'm not gonna it's not gonna replace my entire library because that would be very costly. And I've also made some other observations as far as bitrate. I don't want to get into because every time I come on here, it's like it becomes like this long Kaleidescape conversation. I don't know if we want to go down that road.
That's why we come prepared. But yeah,
Yeah, that's why you can't even say that word without a drink.
Yeah, so
that's the game.
I got Diet 7-Up, so it's gonna have to do.
Yeah, that works. You know.
Diet 7-Up.
It might take you a while to get there, but that works. But yeah,
I have noticed a couple of things. So one, the HD bit rates are crazy. Like, you think that the bit rate war is being fought currently, and one of their things is they say that they typically have more bit rate for 4K, right? But I was looking, I was doing the disc to digital, and I've been slowly doing all my disc to digital just to see what the discounts are and all that stuff. I get to The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi HD size, HD 1080p, 172 gigabytes.
Whoa.
And the 4K version is in the 70 something gigabytes. So how does that work?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So they're
That's why
upscaling the HD version.
Well,
First of all,
that's a
using
big thing in music too,
What?
right? They have like super high-end FLAC files and all this stuff, right? But it's just a wrapper, right? And it's
What?
like, oh yeah, it reads like, here's the file format. You can have a 50 megapixel picture that has 1 pixel in it. That's just nothing, right?
I know.
And that's what they do. They're just adding the numbers to it, you know.
Well, I'm sure there's a little, but what I'm just trying to say is I think I think the bitrate war should continue on the 4K side, and obviously they're gonna be able to beat like a 4K disc on bitrate because they can download a bigger. They're not limited to the size of the disc, right? Which can be a triple layer, dual layer, whatever. But I can't wrap my head around 172 gigabytes for an HD file and 100 gigabytes more than the 4K file, which doesn't make any sense. So what I'm guessing is they're not. Number one, one thing I've noticed is like their HD files sizes are super close to the 4K ones. They're typically 40 to 50 gigabytes. A 4K movie might be 60, might be 70. So for another 20 gigabytes, you're getting 4 times the video quality, resolution, HDR, etc. So in my opinion, the best deal as far as disc to quality, whatever, is 4K. Same goes for standard definition. Their DVD files can be. I saw one that was over 20 gigabytes for an SD file. You know how you can make an SD, like a standard definition file, look incredible with just 2 gigabytes if you're using H.265. So what I think they're doing, they're sticking with MPEG 2 for DVD. They're not upgrading the codecs to more modern ones. We're talking MPEG 2. I think they started using that when DVD, what was 1996? Or am I wrong? So I think they're sticking with ancient codecs, and the same goes for Blu-ray. I think they must be using H.264, which if they just switched over to H.265 or HDVC, they could shrink down the bit rates, because when you're charging so much money for the storage, I think every bit counts. So if you can give me the same quality, because obviously they can support this type of file like HDVC and H.265, because they're using it. They're they're actually implementing it in 4K. So they could, if they just implemented it for HD and SD, they could lower the file sizes and provide the same quality. That's all. That's my biggest observation that I've seen so far is being.
Yeah.
So
And there's
obviously
new
I'm
codecs.
not going to
Yeah.
download the HD file, but a lot of their most of their collection, which I haven't seen, but most of their movies are in HD or in SD. So,
Okay.
Which
Yeah,
version?
it
What
does.
Star Wars movie were you watching that you were talking
What?
about? What was the Star Wars?
Last Jedi. Do you have
The last-
any of you guys have access to the Kaleidescape score? I can share. Can I share? I kind of want to
Yeah.
show this. This is
Well,
I can share.
two things. One, they're coming out with new codecs, hopefully, eventually,
Yeah.
that will
Shrink sizes.
decrease the size requirements, like by a lot. And also, they have created discs for businesses, because it's really expensive right now, but that's how all of it starts, that can get petabytes on a disc.
I've heard of that.
So that's around the corner. So, and once or if, and here's the problem, you have to create a demand, and no one's demanding 8K because size,
I don't think it's necessary at all.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. You're going to have to, something else is going to have to change to require, the upgrade of new discs.
Here, let me share. Look, I can share real quick.
Yeah, if sure, I'll pull it up once I see your share screen.
There you go. Can you see my screen or?
So while he's doing that,
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Mike, somebody's asking about the OSD amplifiers. Do you got any input on that yet?
So far, they've been really solid. I mean, that was my first experience with OSD. A lot of people over the years have recommended them to me. Just never had the opportunity to review one. So they sent me their 2 monoblock amplifiers, the 2220s.
Wow.
Man, first thing when I unboxed them, man, this thing is like a beast of an amplifier. I mean, just very, very well built. I'm not one of those guys that are going to claim this amplifier opened up my sound stage and stuff like that. It just did what it was supposed to do, Didn't run out of gas, super clean, but I'm not going to blow some fluff and say, oh, it sounded like fairy dust was added to my
I remember the
speaker.
first MWAVE. We smoked a $6,000 amp, and then the OSD rocked a pair of the.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Did you say OSD or Outlaw?
I thought it was OSD. It was OSD.
OSD. Okay, yeah. So I've got 2 of those as well. Sorry. I was thinking Outlaw Audio. But yes, same thing, man. The build quality looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And that Outlaw Audio, we had to use year 1.
No, those were OSD.
No, it was OSDs we used at MWAVE.
I keep saying Outlaw Audio. OSD. Man,
it was OSD.
OSD was the one that literally we smoked a $6,000 2-channel amplifier, and we
the
used an
$500 one was working.
OSD amplifier for the rest of the show, and it didn't even break a friggin' sweat on those Martin Logan Neal lifts. It played them as loud as they were willing to take.
Sure.
No distortion, no nothing. I have a buddy that has them, and he's actually had to do some warranty claims, and he's had really good experience with them too.
Yeah, that's what I use in my home theater. I have 3 of them. I have the older models, so
Yeah. So Adrian, if you were to download that HD, you would literally use like 1.5 terabytes that HD version to download that. It's one terabyte equals 125 gigabits. So, I mean,
I mean, the Last Jedi. I don't know, did you guys
incredible.
did you see the side?
Go ahead, pull it up there.
Here, pull it up. It's this. I mean, it's the one that shocked me the most, and I'm just trying to, because I've seen the HD version, and I think it's the disc version is maybe 35 gigabytes. It looks pristine. So what are they doing with this other 140?
Man, that is probably, that has to be a typo, man, or something.
Well,
man.
no,
That's what I'm thinking.
Here's what
that better be a
here's what I'm
typo.
wondering.
Then they'll say,
I'm
"Oh, this is the
wondering-
mezzanine file," but wouldn't the 4K one be better? I mean, that's what.
I'm wondering if part of the file sizes that they're showing does that include the special features and all that stuff? Because there's probably tons of special features on the Blu-ray.
Yeah,
might
on
be.
the
I'm not
Blu-ray
sure.
disc, right? Because the Blu-rays usually have.
I'm not going
tons
to
of
buy it right
special-
now to find out, but
No,
But you know
know,
what I'm saying? Because, and I know they say, oh, look, our file sizes are so much bigger. Well, yeah, you get like 8 discs in the special Blu-ray version. So, okay, that's 10 times that size. So what are you talking about? But
Yeah,
I don't know.
That could be it.
Think
Or
of that,
it might
but
be a
still,
typo or
I mean,
something.
why is the 4K one only
Well,
says
because
80?
most of the time they master the Blu-rays with all the special features, and the 4Ks are just blank, just the media.
Yeah,
I know.
usually if you want to get special features, you buy the Blu-ray, right?
Yes,
At least that's been my
those special
experience.
features,
The
they're all in HD.
4Ks, the 4Ks usually don't have a lot of that.
Feature sound effect, feature with director commentary. Yeah, if you read all the specials.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. They talk about file
never
size,
seen
but
this
it's
big.
like, well, yeah, I got like 8 discs with my version, so
Right.
sure, I can't
And
fit
then,
180 gigs on one disc, but I can 22 discs. So okay, I do have to change
Last
though.
Samurai, I mean, Last Samurai
Feature with
31.
soundtrack only. Feature with director commentary. The director and the Jedi. Balance of the Force. Lighting the spark, creating the space, the battles. Snoke. I guess that should be smoke and mirrors, but Snoke and mirrors. Shadow down and Andy. So yeah, there are a bunch of special features on there.
Yeah, I
so
know, but still, that's all 170.
I don't think that it shouldn't take that many gigs. So 100,
I agree.
170
I mean,
gigs.
it is by far. It's not the only one that I've seen. I've seen others where the HD is bigger. I actually have a little list that I kept, very small.
Well, I just sent an email to my contact at Kaleidescape, one of the tech guys.
That would be cool to
Could be a mistake.
hear what they
mean,
think
for all I
about
know,
that.
but
When I find out, I'll
That's a
send it to you and Ike.
Well, you know what
Oh,
you
that'd be
do?
awesome.
You get it. You get a HDMI bitstream analyzer.
Yeah,
And
we'll just hear from the source. There's no need for all of that.
you
But
just-
we'll just
it
Michael
plays.
email them and we'll find out from them.
that
But
was another one. I think.
yeah,
The Hunger
but-
Games. Oh no, that was. But anyway, like the HD. So whatever. So HD is almost 50 gigs. For another 25, another 50% more storage. You get a 4K better. 4K, which is 4 times better. So my recommendation is always go for 4K if you can, obviously. But some people,
Do you have
I'm
to buy
assuming they
each?
keep the HD
Do you
version
have to buy
around.
each edition separate? Do you have to buy each?
No,
edition
they're all
separate?
included.
You can download whichever one you want once you purchase it.
These are some
Well,
of the
yeah,
digital
but
options.
like, what if I bought the 4K and I'm like, oh no, I want to download the other one. Do you have to pay again?
You can download all 4 of them if you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
you
cool.
know.
That's cool. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
cool
mean-
though. I mean, that's
And
Well,
even
they
on
awesome.
do
the
that.
app or the store, you can remove whatever you don't want to watch. Like if you were
Oh, this
just
is
a
another one.
4K and you wanted to save some space, you can delete the Blu-ray version.
Gone with the Wind is 140 gigs, but that's like a 4-hour movie. But still,
Yeah,
that's
I love
70
that
gigs
movie,
for
man.
for 70 gigs for each 2 hours.
Yeah.
Still rather large.
That's about right, though.
That's
I
one of my favorite movies, man.
That's a great
Gone with the
movie.
Wind, Sound of Music.
There you go.
The
You
King
got
and
Gravity
I.
right there. They always for $3.14. They've always had Atmos on the Kaleidescape version.
Yeah.
You didn't have to pay $90 for the Lux version.
Oh well,
I mean-
some of us bought it for $15, so we'll be fine.
I got mine for
Thanks
30.
to now that we
Thanks to a
released it.
reprint. So where's mine? It's somewhere.
I'm
in
I
there.
legit.
don't even know why you even talk about Atmos, dude. You got stereo on your TV right now. Like, I don't want to hear no talk about experiences from you,
Man,
Don.
Let
Well,
them man. Let
you
them
act
man
like I
leave, man.
You act like I didn't have a theater for a home theater set up the exact same way that your theater is for almost 2.5 years. So I had the same
and you
exact
took it
setup you did,
down?
minus the projector screen.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
So you had your Atmos in there and you took it
let's-
down. I didn't think you had Atmos.
Let's switch topics,
I did.
guys.
There's overhead speakers that were they weren't in the right place per se, but there was
Oh, well, that's cool.
so there was 5.1 in the ceiling, or
Oh,
five, yeah,
wow.
5 point. Yeah, so they were in the
Oh
ceiling.
yeah, you had the cardboard boxes in behind your couch
Mhm.
for a little bit. Yeah, okay, I remember
Yep.
that.
Do
Yep.
you
That's
guys,
right.
do
Yeah, I put
you
the.
guys want to go to the green room and fight? Because I'm about to put, about to view in the green room. So you
Yeah,
guys
yeah, for
can,
that, man.
so you guys can, you guys
I
can,
can fight Don,
so
man.
you guys can fight.
I know my place.
Yeah,
I know
He
someone that'll
forgets that
fight
I'm
with
coming to
me.
visit soon.
I know, right? I know. We're gonna
See,
be making videos from his theater. He's yeah, but Don,
I
you
get
want to
him
pull up
nice
you
and
want to pull
drunk,
out
and then I'll take
the
him
MWAVE
on.
site.
Yeah.
Let's get down to the MWAVE business. So
Yeah,
and talk about all the
I'll stop
I'm
cool
still
sharing.
stuff
looking
that
at
we got coming up.
Kaleidescape for some reason. Yeah, like
No,
I'm
I
not.
stopped. I stopped sharing. Sorry.
Yeah, it's coming up, man. Yeah, chill, man. Jeez, please. Yep. So we got MWAVE, the Midwest AV
June.
Experience coming up June 21st through the
Less than 30
23rd.
days, man. It
How
is
many
crunch
days?
time. Less than 30
Look at
days.
that. 28 days,
Yeah,
Oh man,
14 hours,
dude,
and 24 minutes.
it is happening, man. Going down.
you're not.
Year 3.
Yes.
Are you going to be able to make it, Adrian? Or you said you had something already?
He had something
I
planned.
Yeah.
I had a trip booked, and it's like the day I get back. It's like a family trip, so it's
Oh
like the
yeah.
day I get back, and I would be like, my wife would. I mean, I told my wife I definitely want to go one day, so I'm gonna try to. I probably can't make it this year, but I'll try to pencil it in for next time. But I have been following it very closely.
Hey,
Yep.
do me a favor.
Yeah.
Click on brands. I haven't
I
announced
got
this
you.
yet, but I
Yeah,
literally,
done.
or maybe it's
Done.
Dawn.
Yeah.
Go to brands. You mentioned this earlier. Scroll down and click on the TV comparison room. Click on the link for Sony. So I
Oh, that's
just
cool.
added this page today because I've been waiting on the assets from Sony. So
Oh,
Sony,
nice.
this is what they're bringing to
The
that
Bravia
room.
9.
They're bringing the Bravia 9. They're bringing the XR A95L. Then they're bringing the big boy. So if you
What?
scroll down on bottom
Who was
left,
that wanted the Bravia 9? If you come to
They're bringing-
MWAVE, you might get a discount, the
yeah,
open box
they're bringing
Bravia
Bravia.
Exactly.
9.
I might be taking that home on the plane.
Yeah, they
Ooh, that's the 98 right there, man.
they're bringing
Dang.
the system, so more than likely they're shipping it back. So this is kind of on. I was on a Zoom with them. I forget what they call it. It's almost like a tour. So these products are kind of going around the circuit, so to speak, around the U.S.
Yep.
And so they're having to pull them from different locations because this product's going to be over here at this show, and this product's over here at this show, and we got these two over at this show, and so they're coordinating. It's pretty interesting just to see the behind the scenes of that. And then they're going to have their theater bar set up there. So all of those 4 products are going to be in the TV comparison room with FOMO and Brian. So that's going to be super exciting. I really want to see that 98 inch though.
Yeah, that'll be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So, are they going to have different setups, or is it going to be all in this? It's going to be in the comparison room.
So all of the TVs, yeah. So we've got, I think, if you back up one page, back up to the main brands page, I believe there's 3, possibly 4. So Sony will be there. Samsung's already confirmed. LG is confirmed. I'm wanting to say, I know they're FOMO's trying to get Hisense there, just not sure if they've committed yet. So it's weird with TV manufacturers. It almost seems like, not that they can't commit, way down the road, but it just seems like these products are literally all over the place. You know what I mean? Like they're doing a full circuit. And so a lot of times it's just a matter of, can we physically get it? Is it not already confirmed for these other locations and things? So, but yeah, it's pretty wild. So
Yeah,
there's
guys,
definitely
listen, if you've not experienced MWAVE before, it's nothing like any other audio show that you've ever experienced.
Yeah.
It is, other than the TV room here, and it is 100% for the most part geared towards home theater. And when Michael talks about, these rooms that we're going to go through, these are actually going to be rooms that have a home theater in them. They're going to have scaffolding across the top. They're going to have Atmos. They're going to have, multiple subwoofers. They're going to have uh, Mad VR. They're going to have all kind of stuff in these rooms. So, and we'll go through these rooms here because I can tell you there's one in here that I am extremely, extremely looking forward to, and that's the Germani Systems room. And that's because this guy's only won the theater, the room of the year for the past 4 years.
I know,
at
right?
Cedia.
At Cedia.
So he's bringing the heat, right?
Yeah.
So I am so looking forward to that room.
Is all the
He made that announcement.
The upgrade.
So
Hey, Don, we might need to come up with a home theater hub room of the year for MWAVE.
Oh yeah, we can
give a surprise award.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we can get a trophy and all that stuff.
We need to think about that. Hey, don't nobody steal my idea there, man.
It's gonna be based, it's gonna be more based on like Gene de La Salle's how to experience good audio whenever he was talking about smoking his medical marijuana, and it's like, oh, it sounds so much better. So it's gonna be like a drunk. It's like, you're drinking a beer. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, Anthony assured me that he's really going to do that room upright. Like, he's looking at even bringing his own acoustic treatment to make sure that room is properly treated.
Oh wow!
So I have a feeling his room is going to be pretty remarkable. Like, he's going to go all out with it. So that's definitely going to be super cool.
He's bringing room treatment and he's doing it.
214, right? Let me click on that.
It's going to be the best sounding room. End of discussion.
Yeah, I think we've got 5 full Dolby Atmos systems. There'll be Germani Systems, JTR, SVS, Martin Logan, and Ascendo.
Oh, yeah.
Is there one more? There might even be one more.
Let me go back to the screen so that we can look at it.
Was Wisdom Audio?
RTJ? Is RTJ setting up a room?
That's going to be a 2-channel setup. So they're going to bring the big tower, what I call the Tower of Power that's in Scott Newby's place. So that'll be
RBH. Are they setting up a full cinema?
RBH is full. JTR in 2203 is a full Atmos system. One of the Ascendo rooms is full. I think it's the 2212. Yeah, I'm pretty sure down there. So the 2212 will have a full Atmos setup. The NFM SVS in 2208 will have a full setup. And then Germani Systems will have one. So I think there's 5 full Dolby Atmos theaters that'll be at MWAVE.
Didn't Scott say Martin Logan was talking about bringing a full setup also?
And I mentioned that too. So I believe, I haven't heard any details from them specifically, but my understanding.
They're not bringing the Neo list this year, right? Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ryan. I think Ryan mentioned that.
Yeah. If they do a full Atmos, it'll be like the F series, F200, F100s,
right?
More than likely. Basically what they did at Cedia, they'd be bringing, which was a really great demo.
Oh, wow.
Like a lot of value in that system for sure. And then this year we've extremely expanded the seminars this year. So there are a lot of seminars that we've got. Gramani's going to be doing seminars. Matthew Pose is in on that.
Where is that Audio on the page, Michael?
So just about everything for the for attendees is just under the attendee tab. So if you put your mouse over attendee, and then down there it says, if you go down to the seminars and tech talks. So the seminars will be in the seminar room. The tech talks will be in the individual experience rooms. So you can see there's a bunch of them. So Brett Borkus is going to be doing a seminar. It's like a case study that he did on media room design. And then Andy and Nick, they've always done our projector comparison. So they're going to be talking about, what do you look for in a projector when you're buying a projector? So that'll be super educational there. FOMO, of course, him and Brian are going to talk about same thing with TVs. Like, what do you look for when you're wanting to buy a TV? What are the important things to look at? Because there's so many TVs and so many different specs. And then we've got Matt Trinkline from Storm Audio, who we talking about how to perform calibration with Dirac. How do you make sure that you do that very well and do it right? So that's going to be super educational. Matthew Pose, I think this one's got Grimani. So this will be more of a panel discussion. So all three of them, Brett will probably head that up, that conversation, and kind of interviewing and asking questions to Grimani and Matthew Pose. So that'll be super cool as well. And then that one's going to be on bass management, same group. And then Matt will come back and talk about theater audio fundamentals. And he'll be paired up with Jeff from JTR. And then Gary's going to be talking about theater design 101. And then on Sunday, some of them are going to be the same. Like the projectors will be pretty much the same discussion. But that way, because we do know that we've got some people that only come on Sunday, some that can only make it on Saturday. So we want to provide that to them. And then Simon, he's a great dude, man. Him and Walt Zerby from CEDIA are going to talk about the new RP22 guidelines for theater design. And you can see there's a whole list of stuff they're covering in that one. And then Grimani, I learned about this last year at CEDIA about basically they use network cables to connect to his active speakers. And so all of the crossovers are done upstream in the processing side of things. So that's pretty cool. And then Chris Deutsch and Chris Seymour from Seymour AV and Barco, they're going to be talking about projector fundamentals. So just like leading experts, man.
Man, you got Sunday fully parked, man. Jeez.
Yeah. I looked. So
Sunday's a full day. I guess I'm coming back on Monday.
so I actually booked my hotel, and I booked my flight. I booked my flight. I'm coming in early on Wednesday because it's the only nonstop flight that I could find. So I'll probably be there around 9 o'clock. And then I'm not leaving until about 7 o'clock on Sunday. And I literally was going to leave early on Sunday, but then you added all these seminars. And I immediately text you. I'm like, Michael, you got to open it up to all day Friday, right? Because we got all these rooms to experience. We got all of these seminars to experience. And I know that it's impossible to, it's taken this long to get it organized and everything else. So, but when we have this much content, it's going to be hard to take everything in,
So one thing that we're doing this year is that I literally have a meeting scheduled tomorrow, and we're putting together a plan to, I don't know how many we will be able to record, but the thought is, and the plan is to record as many of these as possible. And so we'll be able to offer those. It'll be an additional cost, but for those that either can't make MWAVE and they want access to these seminars, or even those that are like, man, there's so much. I don't want to just go to seminars. I want to get to these rooms. I don't want to miss any. So then they'll be able to get that on the replay. So
because I think you had put out a poll, right, a couple of days ago, and I was curious to see what that outcome was. But it's good. Hopefully, I think there'll be a lot of people that will benefit from that, or it would at least get them spurred towards coming to the next one, right? So.
So every year, man, honestly, we just try to provide as much value as we can, both to attendees, and then hopefully this year we'll be able to, to offer some virtual, or even after the fact of like recorded seminars. So basically, I'm meeting with the videographer. He came last year, Benny. He's a professional videographer and photographer over in Orlando. So he came last year, did an amazing job, and so I really just need to have a conversation with him to say, what could, like, how many of these do you think you could effectively film? Because I don't even have the camera equipment that can record an hour-long seminar. My camera will go about 30 minutes, I think is the limit on a Canon.
Yeah,
So
I use a Canon. It's the same for me.
what's that?
I use a Canon as well. I'm familiar with the limit.
Yeah, and I've got a nice Canon. It's an R6. It's about a $2,500 body, but it still has a limit on it. So just going to meet with him and see what kind of plan we can come up with, and then we've got to get that built in and added to the website, and then a lot of coding that goes into that. I built the website, but now I've got to add more shopping cart kind of back in and some login access and all that fun stuff. So my work is cut out for me from here till MWAVE. That is for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, if you guys have not experienced MWAVE, I experienced it for the first time last year, and it was, from what I understand, it was definitely a step up from the year prior. And
Huge step up.
from what I'm looking at is, you've even stepped it up even more.
Yeah.
We got JTR coming in here with an 11.8.6 JTR experience.
That's a
There's going to be
massive room. Yeah.
eight captivator,
Mhm.
4,000 captivators in that room. I mean,
Wow.
it's going to be it's going to be like an audio show competition. Rooms are going to be competing against each other. It's going to be great. I can't wait, man. I'm like
Honestly,
a kid
Jeff's
in a
gonna
candy
keep
store right now.
Jeff's going to keep it right at reference. But if you look on that page, I'm sorry, if you scroll down just a little bit, it shows.
Hold on, my screen changed.
I think he's rejoining.
I guess so.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here. My screen changed. Let me go back to Midwest AV.
He's so impressed with himself, he wants to look at himself.
Let's just get it.
Inverted image.
Like, hey, look at me. I love it.
Hey, I
Hey,
got to
Don,
look at myself
Don,
twice here.
I step
Hey,
away for 30
if I
seconds.
looked half as good as you, Don, I'd be staring at myself too, right?
I step away for 30 seconds, and Don is trying to break the
He's
stream
breaking
already.
stuff.
Golly.
Which one did you want me to go to, Michael?
If you go back to JTR and scroll down just a little bit. So there's a couple of time slots that Jeff is going to do, like just let that joker rip. You see the warning down there?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So there's going to be demos 140 plus.
Oh my God.
You'll have to wear earplugs, and you'll have to sign a waiver. And so he's only going to do that on Friday night for 3 minutes. Just a 3-minute demo. Crank that joker up, basically. Saturday,
I know where I'll be Friday night.
Yeah. I know I'm leaving my eardrums back in Dallas. I'm not coming there with my eardrums.
Yeah, I mean you can always just sit outside the convention center and you'll still get an experience, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, but he's looking at just providing that for attendees that just want to experience, like, how loud can they get? What is that bass going to feel like in this massive room? And then you can think about it like, okay, well, my room's not a fraction of this size, so I don't need 8 of them. Man, I could do 2 of them and get a ridiculous amount of pressure, single digits. So I think it's just going to be really fun. But like I said, we want to make sure everybody's safe. And so you will be required to wear earplugs as well as, and he's going to provide all that. So.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah. So just come early.
Do you have to sign up for that experience, or is it just free for all? First come,
it's
first
going to be a
serve?
free for all. And it's probably going to be standing room only, I would imagine. But I would say just get there a little bit early so you can kind of be in line. So
Yeah.
So, Michael, if you don't mind me asking, how many people do you think that you have, right now that are going to attend? Do you have an idea or?
Yep. So we're right at where we were last year at like the last day of MWAVE. We've had people register the week leading up to MWAVE, as well as Friday. We had people register Saturday. We had people register Sunday. They would just show up and go, hey, can I buy a ticket at the door? I just heard about this. And they were locals, Yep. And so last year we had just over 300. We're pretty close to 300 now. And so, again, I have no idea if there's going to be another 50 people, another 100 people. I have no idea. But regardless, this event I don't know if this will ever be like a CEDIA. You know what I'm saying? Part of me doesn't want it to be massive because then we're going to lose the kind of the vibe of MWAVE.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Personal
but
touch.
yeah. What's that?
The personal touch, like,
Yeah.
the face to face.
I mean, think about this. You're going to get a chance to go to MWAVE and have an actual conversation with Anthony Gramani, kind of thing. You know what I mean? You're going to get to know the owner of JTR and RBH. You're going to get to hang out with Nick and the Larry, that you've been watching on their podcasts and such. And so it's just a super kind of intimate experience. And we're just pumped, man. Super pumped about it.
Yeah, Don, before we get to the
we
experience
haven't
room,
talked about yet is
before we get to the
VIP
experience room,
experiences.
let's go to the creators, because the experience will take longer to talk about. Let's just go
Okay.
to the creators who will be there, and then we can come back.
You just want to see your picture now, right?
Oh, am I on there? Man, I didn't know. It probably.
Well, now once you reach 1,000, you're automatically in there.
So yeah.
So we got FOMO, we got Kyle Bliss, Adrian, Brian, Jordan, Haterade Cowboy. Look, Ike that just hit 1,000.
Oh yeah.
Kyle Pace. Got myself. DJ, I was actually listening to DJ's podcast today, and he talked about that he was going to be coming in Friday night, be there Saturday. Home Theater Review, Eric, and then of course this guy.
Yeah, that's a special guest.
Mr.
Like, I mean, yeah, who wouldn't expect you to be there? You got to be there, man. Yep. So, yeah, and I mean, these are the creators that are going to be out there, and obviously, all the CEOs and the big boys that own the companies, like the Antonio Grimanis and SVS guys, and there's a lot of people out there, and you get to speak to them one-on-one. That's the one thing I loved about it. It wasn't, everyone was just in a chill mode, right? It was great balance between business and just having fun and getting to meet people. Great experience.
So, Michael, it looks like we got 7 experience rooms that you have people from the Kansas City area that are opening their doors,
right,
to your customers for MWAVE.
Yeah,
and to give us a little background about this and tell us what this means and what actually happens with this.
Sure. So over the past 6 years, I've had the true privilege, blessing to literally travel all over the U.S. and then occasionally even internationally to experience some really, really phenomenal home theaters. And when I polled my audience probably a couple of years ago, I found out that half of them that responded to the poll, half of them had never experienced a home theater apart from their own. And then I did another poll, and I found out that half of them had never experienced Dolby Atmos. And I'll be honest, that just floored me. I'm like, wow, I can't believe that many people haven't experienced what I've experienced. So when we began to plan and prepare for MWAVE, and I knew that there was a really, really strong home theater community in Kansas City, I reached out to several of them and I said, hey, I would love to get some of our audience into your home theater, if possible, if you'd be willing to do that. And so the first year we had 4 home theater tours, or whatever you call them, experiences, is what we kind of changed it to. And that was number one, it was exhausting to do 4 in a day. We got a lot of feedback from folks, and they're like, Michael, that was fun, but I was absolutely just spent after that day. Like that was a lot to endure. And so we wanted to change it up this year, because 2 years ago was the first year we offered that. So this year, what we did is broke them up almost like a la carte. And so you could pick and choose which ones you wanted to attend. For the most part, apart from the first one, this one, Ryan's, They're all on Thursday. So we had 3 time slots on Thursday. So you've got a morning slot, you've got kind of a mid-afternoon slot, and then an early evening slot. They're all 2.5 hours. And so the concept is we've got 7 home theaters that are phenomenal home theaters, but they're all different. They have different projectors, they have different seating. Some of them have tactile transducers. Some of them are big rooms that have 11 theater seats. Some of them are small and only have 3 theater seats, like Ryan's. But they all provide a completely different experience. And so attendees can purchase these if they want to. This is separate from the MWAVE event that'll take place on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So most of these are Thursday, but Ryan, like I said, his timing is different because he needs to be at the show getting ready, helping vendors throughout the day on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. So he pushed his to the evening. His sold out literally in the first probably hour that we launched those tickets.
I didn't realize that he opened up Wednesday too, or I definitely would have.
So there was, and that was just super. Well, that was the only 2 that he had. He had Wednesday and Thursday, and he only has 3 seats. So he's got 6 people that can enjoy his home theater, because his thought is no compromises. In his view, having a second row, you're going to get less than optimal experience. So I'm just putting 3 seats in my theater. So he's building out his crazy setup there. You can see he's going to have a 60-inch Ascendo. I'm sorry, 50-inch Ascendo, 2 32s, 8 21s. I mean, holy cow. Wow. Who does that? So it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. 11.9.6 configuration, 160-inch screen. He's going to have a Christie Griffin projector. Truly an incredible first-class home theater in his home.
Yeah, we need window tickets, Michael. You guys need to open up
we could have just had MWAVE at his house,
so that we can watch through the window. Like, just give us a window ticket or something. So
yeah, so he's partnered with MadVR. So this is called the MadVR Experience Center, and so they're just putting on a really, really phenomenal setup. And throughout the year, apart from MWAVE, of course, he's going to open up his home to people. But we just had to figure out a way to, unfortunately, we can't bring 300 people into all these homes. There's just physically no way to do it. Jonathan sold out probably literally in the first couple hours.
I imagine.
So this is another one that just went super quick. All 3 time slots. He can fit, I think, 8 in his theater. So there's 8 in the morning, 8 in the mid-afternoon, and then 8 in the early evening.
I think I'm going to his room from 4 to 6. I believe is my time that I go for that one.
I really like his approach to his home theater. I think he's got, it's not frugality, but it's just like really like high value, high performance stuff. And he's a very practical guy. You can tell when I watch your podcast pretty much weekly, and the knowledge that this guy has is just crazy. I mean, I've learned so much from him.
Yeah, he's got 8 18s in his room, so you can see the 5 up front under his screen, and he's got 3 near-field subwoofers, 1 for each of the front 3 seats. And he also has butt kickers installed. So it's an incredible system. And you may think, well, Michael, that's a lot of subwoofer and shake. Jonathan absolutely knows his stuff when it comes to calibration.
Yep.
And I've always been an advocate of that. You can crank your subs up too much and it can be distracting. You can crank your Atmos speakers up too much and it can be distracting. You can crank your butt kickers up enough to where it tears your couch apart. But that's not what Jonathan does. Like, when you notice it is when he turns it off. And to me, that is a good indicator of a very well designed home theater. Is you don't notice it unless it's missing, kind of thing. You're like, oh wait, nothing kind of brings attention to itself. So he's just done a really, really good job with that. And like you said, he's got DIY subwoofers, so that helps keep.
Those are the ones I told you to get, Ike. Those UM18s.
Yeah, phenomenal stuff.
Go ahead and pay somebody to build you those boxes.
He got a really good
near field, right? I think.
Yes, he's using 5 up front and then 3 near field.
Yeah.
So he's got an 18 behind each one of the front 3 seats. And then the JBL CBT 70Js, those I'm pretty sure he bought used, and so he got a good deal on those, and he bought 11 of them, I think. No, it's 9. He's got 9. So 7 on the bed layer. Can't be 9.
He's got 15
No, I'm
total.
sorry.
And his
9,
features the same all the way around.
He
9,
bought a whole bunch of them.
9
So
on the bed layer,
those
6 on the steel.
the UM18s are Dayton, right? Or Dayton audio, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But just a great system. You know, nothing super flashy, but it sounds phenomenal.
You
Yeah, I like John.
still hold true that this is one of the more immersive theaters that you've experienced, or I know you've experienced a lot more theaters since
No.
his, but
So, and here's what I mean by that. This is truly one of the most immersive experiences I've ever had, because here's the thing. You literally can walk around his room and there's like no dead spot in the sound stage. There's no dead spot in it really doesn't change that much. You know what I mean? Like in my home theater, I'm sure you can move over a seat and you're going to get a little bit different because you're moving off axis from like the center channel. Well, his have a 130 degree, I think it's 130 degree dispersion pattern. So imagine that. He's got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 speakers with a 130 degree angle. That entire room is covered in sound. So you don't have any dead spots. It's truly just a really, really well done home theater. And then Ivan's is new for this year, so he's got a Revel setup. So I'm excited to see that because I haven't heard too many Revel setups. I think I've heard one Revel 2-channel setup at Audio Device Live last year. So he's got a 9.3.4 setup, LS500 projector. So he's using an ultra short throw. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely way more affordable than like a Sony 7000 or JVC NZ or an NZ, the older NZ 789 and then the new 800 and 900 series. But still very, very nice home theater. Revel speakers. They're not cheap, but you can get a whole lot more expensive as well.
And it looks like he has availability on all 3
right?
times too.
What was that?
I said it looks like he has availability for all 3 times also.
That is correct. Yep. So that's still available. So a lot of these are going to have, some of them will fill up like certain time slots. And I've done my best to try to make sure that you can see that visually on the page because I have to manually update these. The shopping cart will let you know the true availability. But let's say we get low stock on a certain time slot, then I come to this page and I put that red text to let you know, hey, look, this one's filling up or it's sold out. So I have to manually do that.
So next up, you got Sheldon's. I think I'm going to Sheldon's also.
Yeah. Oh, he's got another cool setup. He has 16 18s in his room.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
So that's pretty wild. And then on top of that, he's got 18 12s.
Yeah, that's the one.
And then he's got a Hoveries too.
That'll make your teeth rattle.
Yeah, so I mean,
if you need more bass than that, then then you're just
Sheldon's a ride.
Have we gotten over with the Atmos nomenclature to increase the middle number like as much as how many subs does he have? Because now I've gotten a lot of comments about that.
Never heard that.
What?
Yeah, Jonathan has done a lot of comparisons between like 4 and 6, and the 6 actually in certain situations sounded worse than 4. It just does some goofy stuff. So take that for what it's worth. But yeah, most places
I know Lee was talking about that too. That the way the Trenoff was processing some stuff, that it would only put it. So it would only put something coming out of the 2 centers in the Atmos, and compared to panning it all the way through. So he was talking about that. I have to think. I don't remember what I think it was a live stream that he was talking about how it was just not playing correctly with 6 also. So, but anyway, so we got this. Looks like Sheldon's is sold out for this particular time.
Yeah, he's recently
But
just sold out. Probably in the past, I don't know, 2-3 weeks. I texted him. So this is another one, man. That's going to be crazy setup. And if you click on more information over to the right, it'll take you to the individual page, and there's more information, but usually there's more pictures. And so I added some new pictures here. So he just sent me this photo here. So I think that's his screen. It's kind of hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure that's a screen. A lot of people are asking, like, what in the world are those air ducts?
I was just about to ask too, because everybody was wanting to know what those are.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what, I will pull up. Let me look up Chirpy, and I can tell you. So he sent me a message here. So here's what he said. He said, number 1, hot and cold air conditioning, both supplies and returns. Then he says, number 2, fresh air and used air exchanges connected to an HRV, heating recovery ventilator. And then number 3, he said, in the future, I'm building a hush box, and those will be for the air intake and exhaust. That will be a phase 2 step because I have a couple of projectors I want to test in the room before I make it a more permanent install. And he said the columns and coffered ceiling help me to hide all of that. And so he's another
bunker,
guy.
man? That sounds like it's 100 feet in the ground.
He's doing all of this room by himself.
By himself, wow.
Yeah, so phenomenal. He said pretty much everything's done. I think his seating is already in. Of course, he's already got his sub, but he's building this room out by himself, dude. And he's using the same speakers that Jonathan has, the JBLs.
Wow.
So that's going to be a phenomenal room. That's I think it is it's the biggest room at MWAVE, for the home theater experiences.
How tall are those ceilings? Like 14 feet? They look ginormous.
Yeah, it's pretty high. I don't know the exact dimensions of his room. It might actually be on the page. I think we put their room dimensions. I don't remember if we put the height, but I know the room dimensions are on there. So, but those are some pretty beastly subwoofers up front. So that should be a really, really great experience.
He's going to be working hard the next couple of days, man.
So look right there. If you scroll down a bit, I think on the left, I put some more information. Oh, no, I'm sorry. On that main page, if you'll go back. Yeah, click on his view more information. Yeah. Over on the left, I think I put most of their room dimensions because people want to know, like, because, especially if you're building one. Yeah, room dimension.
Looks like 12-foot ceilings.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So it's a big room, 30 by 20, with 12-foot ceilings. Yeah, that's a lot of volume.
Yeah, that is a lot of volume.
So,
beautiful pictures, though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a super room. Excited for folks to be able to check that out. I'm really hoping I can at least carve out even 30 minutes just to pop in, say hi to some folks, and get a quick demo or two. So that'd be super cool.
Do you know how long he's been working on this?
That I don't know. I don't know how long Ryan's been working on his theater, but my understanding, I think he's self-employed, so he works from home, and so he can devote some time to finishing that build out. Stephen Dew, you guys probably know him. Scrappy Dew, great dude. So he opened up his. He's actually got I think three systems in his house. He's got a heritage clip set up here, so that's the Cornwalls up front. He's got some seating, 6 seating 18s up front behind that massive wall, massive screen, 141-inch diagonal. And then if you click on more information on that one, it mentions he's got 2 other systems in his house. One's like a living room home theater, and then he's got a Perlison system in one room. He's got a Klipsch Cornwall system in another room. And what else? I think I've got it listed there. If you scroll down.
Clips
That's
Cornwall, Clips Pro in walls.
yeah. So that's in his theater. But yeah, additional info. Yep. See the living room. He's
There's
got a
bar theater.
Perlisten. Yep. And then he's got a bar set up with a 5.2 DIY sound group. So he's got like you're gonna get a 3-for-1 at his theater. So that's super cool. So if you like Perlisten or want to hear what Perlisten sounds like, or clips and heritage speakers, that's truly going to be a great experience as well. So as you can see, like each one of these just offer a unique experience. And the size.
And I like the fact that you included, if people were allergic to animals in here too.
Yep.
So that's just thinking of everything, Michael. Good job.
We're trying to make this as best of an experience as we can. We're providing each one of the homeowners. So here's the thing. So the revenue that we make from that, we're basically splitting the profit with the homeowner because we want to give to them to say thank you for like opening up your home for our guest. So there's a benefit for them and a thank you for them physically, financially. Then they can pour that back into their theater if they want, or just use it for their family or whatever. That's up to them. Kevin Child's got another cool home theater.
Probably spend it on food and drinks for all the guests already. So
no, that's actually we're providing additional income for that. So we're providing $7. Okay. Yeah, we're providing up to $7 per guest to help offset. And it shouldn't even offset it. It should pay for it. So they're not providing full meals, but you'll have some snacks and some drinks available. We didn't want that to come out of their pocket. So we're providing that as well.
Because that adds up, and
it does.
I would have a full bar, a full snack.
Yeah, if you're a guy like Paul that goes to Scott's house and drinks all his beer like he's admitted to,
And that's the thing. I
drink at least a third of all their beer.
These guys would gladly do it out of their own pocket because they do this anyway. They invite people over and they host it. They're glad to do that. But like I said, as an organization and as just somebody who's grateful for them opening up their home to some strangers, my followers, it's just a way that we can say thank you, physically.
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we try to take care of them. We want it to be a good experience for the host. We want it to be a great experience for the VIP guests. So again, man, every year we learn a little bit something like how can we make this better? How can we make the show better? How can we make the experiences better? This year we're adding the digital access, so you can buy the seminars and the tech talks.
Now that is cool. Is that the Back to the Future?
Ain't that a cool setup, man?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you recognize the skate, but anyways, that's cool. All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it looks like he's got masking there up front. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this one is still available for those that want to tour this one.
Yeah. So again, just really a wide variety of experiences to choose from.
So we got a couple of questions. Let's add this. So Richard is asking, will just video walls be there?
Yeah, great question, Richard. I answered him in the chat.
Okay. I missed that.
And I don't mind because some of your guests are probably even listening to this like on the way to work, so they don't have the opportunity to see those questions answered.
Right.
So we did have a conversation. We had a Zoom meeting with Just Video Walls probably about a month or two ago, and they wanted to come, but they said that they do have another commitment around that time, so it would just be really hard. I think they're in Florida actually, maybe South Florida, maybe the week before MWAVE. So just the logistics, the timing, the cost, and all of that probably wasn't going to work out this year. So maybe we can get them there next year if it doesn't conflict with.
Sounds like I need to make a trip. Let me find out where they're at.
Yeah, I think they're in. I don't know if they were doing a show down there, Don, or if they actually are located in South Florida. But I think they said they were down in the Miami area. Actually, you know what? I'm almost positive they have a showroom down there.
Okay. And Richard is asking.
I might have to make a trip.
Let me look
Richard
at
was
their website.
asking if we're going to have any media player companies besides Kaleidescape out there.
We actually
Uh,
are. So if you look on that brands page, Richard, there is a we're going to have Arvolution will be there. So they're flying from all the way over to from man, I don't even know what country they're in, but they're overseas, but
yeah,
they're coming over.
France. Yeah.
Oh,
And
they're
you'll
gonna
love
be
him, man.
there.
He's
Man,
super,
I
super
might actually
dude.
buy one of those because
Yeah.
those are pretty cool.
Yeah, those are definitely affordable.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, 1,000. Well, for the high end, you can get, and those things are amazing. They play all kinds of media.
I know a guy that's a dealer for those.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to that guy. I bet you I get a better deal at him.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
Yeah, you're right, because I got to charge you double for being a smart ass.
Yeah.
No,
You're like Raphael. He's a
it'll be nice
great
to
dude.
actually see it and actually,
Yeah.
use the UI. Because,
Correct.
video, you edit it. It's like, oh, look at how amazing this
Yeah.
interface looks. Well, yeah,
Correct.
okay.
Yeah, this will be
That's
the
a
real
cool
deal. You'll get
video
to
edit
play with
you
it,
did.
touch it. Yeah, Raphael,
Yeah.
he'll give you the remote. Have fun with it. And they'll also, I think there's a couple of rooms that'll be utilizing that in the room too. So, but he'll have a static, like I say static, he'll have a small booth. They don't have an actual room because they don't need a room for, a couple of products. They just basically need a table, TV, remote, and you go to town
Yep.
with it.
Yep, that's all you need is to see, the UI and the experience and how it feels, Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
you'll be able to, and like I said, Raphael, he's a super dude, man. I really like him a lot.
Yeah, I deal with Raphael all the time. Like I said, I was a PD dealer. Unfortunately, they went out, but
Yeah.
I'm also a Revolution dealer. But he's just fantastic to work with. Call him up. I believe it or not, he still communicates through Skype.
Oh,
And,
buddy, that's interesting.
So that's how I communicate back and forth.
That's
with him
how
all the time,
old school he is. Like nowadays, like Skype.
It's wild,
Oh
man.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to see if I can find out where this just video
You can
wall
find
is.
him on myspace.com.
I think MySpace is still around, by the way.
Look up his Skype account. Yeah.
That's funny. Jamie mentioned that she said that her husband would love to attend the event. She said, I'm excited to share that with him. It's great information. So the cool thing, Jamie, is we actually have a lot of females that are coming as well. Last year we saw a decent amount, and then this year we're seeing even more females come. So it's cool to see families coming. Some are bringing their kids this year, so that's super cool. So, but yeah, so we welcome both of you.
Yeah, so if you don't know who Jamie is, Michael,
what's that?
She's married to, if you don't know who Jamie is actually married to Matt from Blair Hi-Fi Solutions. He was on our show He was on our show the other day. So
awesome, very cool. Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, so definitely was a fantastic guest, and I mean, just dropping knowledge all over the place last week. So, I got a lot of good comments about him being on the show, and it was great to have him on there. But so where else can we go on this page here? Let's take a look here. One thing that is very surprising to me is that this is only, and I mean really, for 3 days.
Yeah.
$75.
Yeah.
Right. Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Where else can you go? That's $25 for entertainment. I mean, you and your wife can't go to the movie for $25, and see a movie. You can't, unless you're eating at McDonald's, you can't eat out anywhere for $25 anymore. But you're giving 3 days at this phenomenal price. So I mean, it's just it's unbelievable, that you're able to allow this, for the cheap price of $75. So those of you that are thinking about, well, I can't make it Friday or I can't make it Saturday. Shoot, one day, I promise you, if you spent the $75 and you're able to attend just for one day, you're getting way more than your money's worth at this show.
Yep.
I mean, it's
If you can only come
unlike
one day,
anything.
I was just saying, if you can only
Go
come
ahead.
one day, definitely recommend either like Saturday or Sunday, because that way you get a full day. Yeah, Friday night's going to be more of a, I mean, it's pretty abbreviated. I think we start at 6 to 9. So we'll do like 5 to 5 or 5:30 to 6 will be kind of like an introduction. We'll meet in the seminar room and just kind of do some fun stuff there, and then I'll turn everybody loose. But yeah, full day Friday, full day Saturday, and it's a small enough event. You can definitely get to all of the rooms and get to some of the seminars if you're only able to make one day. So
You need to add Blip Roasteries to the coffee page over there.
what is it? Oh, so Chris graciously, Chris put together that list for me, and so
that's cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
honestly,
I
and
was looking at it. I was like, "Oh, this is some local close roasteries is really good. All of them are really good." But Blip Roasteries is also really close. It's literally
honestly,
just.
Paul, if you'll shoot me a message, I'll be happy to add that to it. Yep, be glad to. But
It's a cool little vibe, and it's pretty close. Like you can, you just have to cross a bridge on the. It's on the like west bottoms is what we call it.
Yeah. So Chris put together.
That's a fun little entertainment area in itself. I'll send you a message.
Put together the coffee, and he also put together the kind of like the eats around the.
That's cool. Yeah, okay. Because I was like, man, I thought you were gonna have coffee there. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to bring my espresso machine and make people some lattes or some cappuccinos in the morning.
I like that. So what's the plan this year?
Hey, Croson, we'll put you on the payroll next year, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is the plan this year? Last year, I know we had a little blip in the food, right? Because of the I think there was supposed to be a restaurant opened or like a little corner place inside of there. What do you have set up for food, or if you could talk about that?
Yeah. So last year was our first year at this convention center, and they told us that there would be kind of like a little convenience store right there, and it was literally right in between all of our demo rooms. They had it open Friday night, and it was not open Saturday, and it was not open Sunday. We're like, you got to be kidding me. There was a food truck outside. We didn't schedule that, but there happened to be a food truck outside, like I think one of those days. And again, it just wasn't there the other days. So this year, Ryan has contacted food trucks. So he'll have a food truck out there probably, I'm assuming Saturday, and then a food truck on Sunday. And I don't think, it was weird. That little convenience store, we had to guarantee like X amount of sales. It just seemed really ridiculous. So we're like, heck with this. We'll just get some food trucks outside. So there'll definitely be some food basically right outside the venue. So you don't have to go into downtown and, to one of these shops. But basically everybody's going to go out to eat for dinner sometime. And these are just some great restaurants that are pretty local.
Yeah. That's cool.
And of course, you got to have your barbecue.
Lots of barbecue there. So definitely a bunch of options. I had a chance to go to Jack Stack. I remember going there. That was really good. I want to say they took me to somewhere else.
Probably Joe's KC or Oklahoma Joe's is what.
I think you're right.
It's called Oklahoma Joe's. It's not actually, it's Joe's KC now, but it used to be called Oklahoma Joe's.
Okay.
And at the gas station, did you go to the one that was at the gas station? That's
no, I don't think so. This was just more like a small restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jack Stack was more of a bigger establishment. The other one was kind of more mom and pop kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which one did we go to last year, Paul? Do you remember?
We went to an offshoot of Joe's KC.
Yeah, Minsky's pizza is awesome. They make these big square pizzas, man. And they're like, I don't know, 3 foot wide by 3 foot wide. It's huge. So that was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's going to be a fun time. Love for you guys to join us. And
Yeah,
like I said,
absolutely. I mean, as I
these
mentioned
joints,
before, the bang for the buck for this experience, like I said, I've been to the Florida Audio Show. I've been to Expona. There has been a couple home theaters set up in that the Florida Audio Show. It was just they were still inside of a pretty small home theater, a pretty small hotel room. You still got a good experience with them, but it's nothing like what MWAVE is. I mean, it's
MWAVE
these rooms.
it's specifically designed for home theater.
Yeah.
All the other shows that I've been to, they're 2-channel shows, and a few of them have some home theater, but we're the only show that I'm aware of that is straight home theater. Like, I mean, if you like home theater, we're going to give you the best experience, bar none. So,
I mean, the vendors are there obviously to promote and sell their products, but
Sure.
the event itself, especially with you involved, is more about making connections, friends,
100%.
and creating an experience, which regardless, like you can go there and never spend a dime and, and never feel pressure
you'll have a great time.
You never feel looked down on, I mean, at some of these shows, I used to go to some of these, high-end things, and it's like, it's kind of disappointing when you go in and you're like, okay, I'm going to wear a Rolex, I'm going to wear my jacket, and all of a sudden you're like, all these people are talking to you, and you're like, really, really, bro? Like, I was the same dude that came in here yesterday with a t-shirt and jeans, and you wouldn't even pay attention to me, and I'm like, that's not my vibe. It never has been. So,
and we want. I mean, I'm wanting.
The business is business. You can't discount that. But this is, you have a lot of fun here. There's a lot of people that love discussing their experiences, and a lot of the times people don't even end up talking about audio and theater gear. They're like, hey, what's going on? What are we doing? What are we doing for lunch? Or what are we doing after, after this place closed down,
Well,
So,
I went to the Florida the Florida Audio Show. I traveled from let's call it Boca Raton to Tampa just to meet a guy that lives right down the street from me. It's like, wow, I had to travel this far just to meet you. So, he's literally like in the town right below mine, probably about 10 minutes from my house. So, but I mean, look, that's what's great about the show also is that, there's a lot of people that want to share their experience, want to talk to, want to have a bromance about home theater. I mean, that's what it's about, right? Get to know some people, get their phone numbers, chat home theater with them. I mean, we have a home theater hub chat on Facebook Messenger we're constantly chatting each other about home theater, about what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Paul's posting pictures of his lattes and everything else on there, So, but it's definitely a great experience, and I know, Michael, that's what your main goal is to bring people together, for this event.
It's very intentional. Like, it's not haphazard. I'm very intentional about creating opportunities for people to get together, to know people. And when we meet, like you'll see on the schedule, 30 minutes of each day, we're just going to meet just to catch up. But there's some things I'm going to do very intentional, even on day one on Friday night, that's going to help you to connect with some people. We're going to find out who's in your area. Is there anybody in Florida at the event so that Don can find some other people and doesn't have to drive an hour,
I don't have to talk to Paul all the time, so that'll help me out.
I can't wait to experience Don's. Oh, never mind. One day.
I'm going to use Ryan's tag here and hashtag hope it don't sucks when I come to yours. Okay, buddy?
Hey, I never say mine's good.
I
But
know,
I
right?
tell you what, if you don't have a good time at my place, that's on you. I can tell you that. I can promise you that.
Absolutely. No, Paul's a very very gracious host. Took us out for some beers and took us
My
all through
theater may suck, but you know what?
Kansas
It
City.
works. It may suck, but it works.
Yeah, but you know what? You're still gonna have a great time. It's like,
Oh,
you
absolutely.
know, he had a theater, I think. What? I don't remember.
No, it's all in good fun, and we definitely
Yeah, for
appreciate.
sure.
When I went out there, I definitely appreciate you showing us around, and I know we tried to get Scott to pass out there with the 16% alcohol in that
Oh,
chocolate beer that we gave him.
Yep.
he definitely asked the next day, like, wait, what was it?
What
Hey
was it?
man, don't tell the don't say anything, because I'll get you. You choose. Okay. I'll choose.
Okay. Yeah, I look forward to seeing Scott out there again too.
Yeah,
Look forward
he's a
to
great guy.
meeting a
Hopefully,
bunch of people out there.
Yeah,
Michael, on the schedule here, you have if go to the schedule page, everyone, and take a look at you kind of get a one pager of all the
Yep.
different seminars that are going on also, so you can see that on a one page sheet so that you can
Mhm.
plan your day as far as what you're going to do.
Yeah.
That's great that you have this, because last year when I was there,
Yep.
you had a projector shootout,
Yep.
and I think I missed it because I didn't know that it was
Sure.
going on.
Yeah.
So
That was
I'm
that
glad to see that you got this now.
So one thing that we did, well, each year after the event, I send out I encourage everybody to go to the website and fill out a questionnaire. And really the questionnaire is just like, not so much like grade us, but what did we do well that you really enjoyed about the show? But also, what can we do to make this better next year? Because we truly are consumer focused. We want this to be something that as soon as you're done, you're like, dude, there is no doubt in my mind. I'm planning my trip next year. As soon as I know the dates, I'm putting it on my calendar because I'm not going to miss this. That's what we want this to be every year for people, that they look forward to coming back to meet the friends that they met the year before, to have some new experiences, to get some more education. And again, we just value that feedback tremendously. But that was one of the feedback that we got, is that, because again, year one in 2022 was our first year, but to me, it was more like a proof of concept. It looked a whole lot different than last year. Last year was like a legit show at a convention center. And so it just looked a lot different. The vibe was different. The structure was different. It was more structured than the first year. And then, but one of the things that we found out is that, well, we didn't really let everybody know exactly when the room comparisons were going to be, or the speaker or the sub or whatever. And so this year it's like, okay, we need to let them know way ahead of time, as soon as we can. Here's the flow, and that way you can plan your day. And everybody's going to be different. Some people are going to look at that and go, man, there's only one of those seminars I want to even go to. I'm just really interested in hearing X brand. I want to go check that out, or
So
whatever.
are there going to be any shootouts this year? Is there going to be a projector shootout? Is there going to be a speaker shootout,
Yeah. So
subwoofer
great.
shootout? I know you had those.
Mm-hmm. So this year you can see we've shifted, at least for this year. Like every year, who knows what it's going to be. But this year we wanted to really provide some education stuff. And so we had a big emphasis on the seminars and tech talks. So you see that expanded massively from last year.
Yes.
We do have a high fidelity versus streaming. So Ryan's going to do that on Saturday, and he'll also do it on Sunday. So that'll be blind comparison. Can you tell the difference between actual streaming content and like a high fidelity player? So that's going to be interesting to see.
So are you
what
going to have high high-speed internet piped in there, or are you doing that through Wi-Fi? How are you doing that?
That is not my responsibility. So Ryan will head up. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. He's heading that up in the projector room. So we will have some projectors in there this year. It won't be the same ones we've done for the past 2 years. Previously, we had the Epson LS 12,000. We had all three Sonys, 5,000, 6,000, and 7,000. And then we had the JVC NZ7, 8, and 9. That was for year one, which was 2022, and last year, 2023. This year, since JVC came out with their brand new NZ 800 and 900, unfortunately, we can't get any of those at the show, other than I believe JVC's bringing their 900 to the show, so you'll get a chance to see it. They don't have enough of them. Yeah, there's so little availability to get other ones at the show. Sony hasn't introduced any. Epson hasn't announced any, so we're not going to have anything. It's more the same-o. So we're like, you know what if we mix it up this year? And I forget, honestly, what models Ryan told me that he's going to have there, but they'll be probably like more affordable home theater projectors. So I don't know exactly what models those will be, but he's bought some of those, ordered them.
BenQ just came out with a new projector that looks pretty nice, 4K.
Nice.
Yep. A newer, higher, low end, high tier model.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about the $6,000 one. Yep.
Yeah.
Getting into that.
Yep.
But this will be along the lines of more of affordable, approachable, and that's really one thing that we want to do at the show. Year one in 2022, we had a lot of high end, not a lot, but we had high end stuff. We had $100,000 pair of Martin Logan. We had per listen speakers. We had the JTR Tower of Power. A lot of really expensive stuff. And the Martin Logan.
You had a barcode projector. You had a
so
the lens was like $40,000.
Exactly. So we want to be able to provide stuff that is attainable as well, like stereo integrity is attainable, for just about anybody. The row one seating, LG, all the TVs, most.
What about the RBH? Are they bringing their newer?
Honestly, if you click on it, it'll tell you the models that they said that they were bringing. They are bringing. I'm not as familiar with their models. They are bringing the big boys, but they're bringing the more affordable ones too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I've linked to their websites. You can click on it and go to. A lot
of people talk about how amazing they are. Even their affordable line is like really amazing.
Yeah. The SVTRS, I think that's the one that Gene De La Sala has, or the big ones. Yeah, see, that's that big, massive tower. And then they've got some smaller towers that they're bringing. So you'll get a good idea. So this will be in their full, Dolby Atmos setup that they're bringing.
This is what you need, Ike, right here.
That Joker looks bad, man. I like that.
That's a park bench right there for you to put in your theater.
Yeah.
Hey.
I like the feet on this thing too. Look at the feet on that thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
it looks super sexy.
Probably cost more than my whole theater system.
Mm-hmm.
I know, right? How much is that thing?
I have no idea.
Though.
It's probably, I think it's dealer. You got to order it through a dealer, so I'm not sure what they run.
Yeah.
They're not cheap.
They just came out with a dual one of those too. I mean, it's literally as long as a park bench. It's pretty awesome.
What has to be if it's got T21s in it?
And it's HDF too. Ooh,
yeah,
that thing is heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is another brand that I'm interested in because I'm interested in actually trying to become a dealer for this brand myself. So I'm gonna. That's one of my. That's my primary reason for going to MWAVE this year, is to try to make some new contacts and that way, once my theater showroom is done, that I'll be able to actually offer some variety of speakers and projectors and stuff like that. So, But yeah, so RBH, and then we got a sound bar from them. Let's see. Well, that wasn't a sound bar. Here, this is another tower. Let's see what that is.
Yeah.
That looks like it's got some subwoofers on the side, kind of like a Def Tech or a Golden Ear. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in RBH also. Stereo Integrity, I mean, they have a monster subwoofer that all pure carbon fiber. Yeah, that's it right there. That HS24. Man,
Yeah, it looks
8
like
sealed carbon. Let's see what this says here. So yeah, I was thinking about putting 2 of those on the sides of my like 90 degrees from the MLP. I could fit that in the cabinet. I was looking at these a while. Yeah, and it don't need that much cabinet space either. It's not, because I was looking at this a while ago that I could fit it in my space. But I don't need any more projects yet. I just need to get done what I got done.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, we definitely appreciate you joining the stream today.
It's always fun.
If you guys haven't bought your ticket for MWAVE yet, make sure that you go ahead and plan your trip. I promise you, it will be worth it. If you haven't subscribed to Michael's channel, let's see, did I lose you guys here?
Nope,
we hear you loud and clear.
We hear you loud and clear.
Subscribe to Michael's channel. Make sure you go over to Youthman. What are you at, like 140, 150,000 now, Michael?
130, I don't know, 134. I'm not sure.
Keep it going, man. Fantastic job. You're pumping out some content over there. So,
it's slowing down.
Then if you're not a Patreon, make sure you become a Patreon. There's a lot of good information. There's actually a lot of sales that people are selling equipment that Michael, being the person that he is, helps his fan base out and helps people sell stuff. And there's definitely some Youthman deals to grab off of that Patreon page. So if you're not a subscriber to Ike's channel, who just broke that 1,000 mark, congratulations, Ike.
Where's that? Oh, crap.
Appreciate that.
Even though YouTube is showing me that I just lost a bunch of subscribers, but that's fine.
There you go. Good.
It took me.
Oh man, how did you do that? It doesn't ever do that, man. I got the Mac and everything.
That's the MacBook that was doing this the other day. I forgot what the fireworks were. I don't know what.
I do the peace sign. I think the peace sign does the balloon.
Jazz hands. You go, yay, or something like that.
Balloons, I think.
Yeah, there's the balloons for you.
Hit that subscribe button. It'll take me. For some reason, it says I'm back to 900 plus. So I don't know. I don't know if I lost a few.
Did it really?
Yeah, it did.
Oh wow!
Well,
it's like I lost 10.
Go ahead.
Like I lost 10 subscribers. So
to give him this 1,000.
I think Paul unsubscribed his 10 different accounts.
I'll go ahead and subscribe back now too. Right?
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah,
So,
Paul and Don
and
subscribed.
if you can head over to Horizon Home Theater, I'm not really tracking it too much, but if you'd like to subscribe there, definitely would appreciate it. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at hometheaterhublive@gmail.com. That's hometheaterhublive@gmail.com. Adrian, thank you for joining today. Appreciate you coming on for the limited time that you had. Definitely appreciate that. Michael, as always, fantastic guest. I can't wait to see you at MWAVE. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
thank you, everyone.
Stay in the green room for a few minutes, Michael. So
there was a couple questions. Did you get to all the questions that you started?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay.
We did. I was asking them in between the shows. So.
Someone was asking about Monolith or OSD Nero, and honestly, those are so close. I don't know that there's any difference.
That's the same thing.
The only thing that I would say, if I look at the back of the Nero, I like the way that the banana plug connections are a little bit further separated. But other than that, as far as like quality and whatnot, they are going to be exactly the same. So it's, to me, that's just more of an aesthetics choice.
Yeah.
Which one do you like?
But
Do you like the
I have
blue
three.
light?
I have three of the OSDs and one monolith. I love the
Yeah.
OSDs, so
Yeah.
they're both great. But I have OSD. Yeah.
I think he just asked that question again. That's why I was like,
Oh yeah, I may have missed that. So yeah, thanks
but
for bringing that
I
up.
mean, literally, that's just an aesthetic thing for me.
Mhm.
Personally, just looking at it, I like the OSD. It looks like the build quality on the back, and I don't know that quality is the correct word, but the
Their
real
terminal
estate,
connections, maybe.
the real estate of the back of it is a little bit
So the
better
layout.
Yeah, because like if you look at the back of the monolith, the speaker banana plugs are like literally almost touching each other, you know, and it's just one of those things where it's like, oh man, especially if you get any of those banana plugs that are like bare metal, you know, you could just have those things. You pull on one and they could touch whenever they're just that much further apart. And it's, you know, it's a little bit. It's got clear plastic on the OSD one versus the red and black old school. You know, so again, it's more of an aesthetics choice. But as far as the layout, I like it whenever they separate the positive and negative terminal a little bit more.
They
But
also,
other than-
I'm comparing both of them now. So I'm with you, Kristen. I definitely like the OSD Nero looks more premium.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's just it has a better layout. I don't
And
know. Like I said, I don't know the build quality. I haven't.
no, it's
touched
actually
it.
it's
Just
actually
looking
it's
at it,
actually
real
heavier.
estate wise.
It's
It
actually
just looks.
heavier. It's actually a heavier a device because I have the OSD and I have the monolith.
Yeah, 71
Yeah.
pounds versus, let me back up here. 71 versus, where's the specs?
What monolith is he looking at? The 5 or
the 7-channel. Yeah, 7-channel versus 7-channel.
The 7, probably
Actually,
the 7.
So the mono price 7-channel is 93 pounds. The OSD is 71 pounds. So the monolith is actually quite a bit heavier.
Oh, okay. I have the 3 and the 5 channel though, but they didn't feel those feel heavier than because I have the
again,
7. I
it
have the
depends
7
on
channel.
you know, you got the blue light on the front. You know, you just got the
That adds a
little.
lot of
I think you got one. I think you got multiple lights on the front of the OSD, depending on the whenever it powers up.
There's one for each channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah, the
again,
monolith just has like a main metal chassis, and then the other one has more like a display, so it lets you know
and I
which
think they're
channel.
both class A, B.
AB,
Yeah, both of these are class A, B. So
Yeah, they're both good. I don't think you'll go wrong with any of them. Those options. So
yeah, they're pretty heavy, and I don't know who makes who the true,
where they get the manufacturing parts from.
But I do know Monoprice is made, or basically their topology, I guess, or I think it's topology, is from ATI, and they've been they make really really nice stuff. So
I would be surprised if the
the
OSD
price difference.
same-
You can
same
buy 2 of the
exactly
monoliths, man.
Yeah,
to be honest.
You can buy 2 of the OSDs for one of the. Yeah.
Yeah, if price
just
is
a lot
the
of value
biggest.
in that.
Yeah, if you're worried about, for me, if budget was the thing, OSD, hands down. But if you're like, oh, I want to get this, because I hear or whatever, you want to feel like you're getting a more premium device because maybe you feel like the toroidal transformers are bigger or something, then, honestly, I don't think you would be able to tell the difference audibly. Sure, you might be able to measure something, but Yeah,
One thing that I will say is that the monolith is made by ATI, so
That's
they
what I
definitely
mentioned.
have.
Yeah, he mentioned
they're
that its topology is ATI.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you look at that one, that's the same exact amp topology. The only difference here, if you look at that, click on the picture with the toroidal transformers
The third
on
one
the
down there.
The OSD,
OSD.
and then you look at the one with the monolith. So if you were to just look at those, the toroidal transformers look a little beefier on the monolith, so they maybe there's a little bit more distortion.
Well, here's the deciding factor.
OSD.
Okay, if you need it now,
Yeah.
the seven
Yeah,
channels.
there
Not
you
enough.
go.
OSD is
There you
your
go.
thing,
Well,
bro.
that's
There's
It
your
seems
deciding factor right
It
there.
does seem like they're always out of stock, man. And you know
It's
what's
always out of
crazy?
stock.
When I first announced the OSDs, they were offering $200 off of both of their amplifiers on my channel, and they only did it for 48 hours. So that was like a ridiculous deal. Like you were getting a $1,000 amp for $800. You were getting I think the other one, the 5-channel, it was like $699. So you're getting it for $500.
Wow.
Crazy.
Now
Yeah,
the monolith is assembled, and I'm air quoting here, assembled in the USA.
Yeah.
So if that's something for you, that's
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I know people. I mean,
People get hung up on that stuff. I don't. Is it a good product? That's all I care about. You know.
Okay, let's look at the total harmonic distortion. I'm wondering if because that'd be the only.
Well, thank you to everyone that has hung on here. We still got 28 people. Thank you for everyone that has hung on here. And even though I signed us off 20 minutes ago, but thank you.
I know, man.
That's all right. We got to answer the question.
I'll be honest, Croson. The specs on this are. I get a little.
That's exactly what I thought. Looking at it, if you look at the
I get a little
total
confused
harmonic
on it.
distortion, yeah.
Because there's part of it that looks really great, and I think the explanation that they gave to me is they said, Michael, a lot of brands kind of, not fudge their numbers, but basically they try to make themselves look better by listing it a certain way. So I think what they're doing is they're listing it multiple ways, because that way you can compare their specs to the competitor specs, depending on how they list it on their website.
Yeah. Yep.
So you'll see a couple of different.
So here's what you're talking about: the harmonic distortions,
Yep.
less than 0.03%.
Yeah, I was going to say the monolith probably has less, but the reality is,
Let's see, monolith.
Human audibility, you're not hearing distortion until you get to quite a lot, actually.
I mean, it's your noise floor, right? That's what you're looking at. Is your noise floor,
exactly. Yeah. So that's one of those things where
I'll see what the monolith is.
I believe the monolith would measure better.
So the monolith is 0.03 at full rated, and it's 0.005 at the 1 kilohertz. And how does that compare to the other one?
So the exact same. They've got that listed. I'm on the specifications of the other one, and I don't see that they have it listed here.
It is all channels. It says it's on there. It says all channels output.
Are you looking at the monolith, or is that the
This one's the OSD
one.
Yeah, so
8 ohms at 1% total harmonic distortion, 145 watts.
Mm-hmm.
Or 8 ohms at 0.1% at 125 watts. So people will get hung up on that because they'll look at it and be like, oh man, that's way more distortion at 125 watts. Mm-hmm. In reality, either one of these amps, you're going to be maybe pushing 30, maybe pushing 50, But yeah, if you want I guess if you're listening at max volume 99% of the time, I would go with the monolith just off of the base numbers. But
yeah, if you're listening at reference.
Yeah, well, higher than reference. Um, I affordability and price, and I'm telling you, unless you're cranking these suckers loud and super loud, you're not going to be able to hear a difference, and even those stated distortions. But that's, if you're selling it, you're going to get a whole nother story. But either one's a good choice. But that's really the big difference there.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is if you want it now or not, because Monolith doesn't have it.
And that is a big, that's a really big factor. Yeah.
You might be able to get on Amazon. Sometimes they'll have it
Yeah,
there.
that's a good point, Michael. I think Ryan, doesn't he sell? The Buckeye amps are really in the same ballpark as these.
So they do have one. They do have one left in stock on Amazon. So sometimes, because what they'll do is they'll ship it to Amazon, and then Amazon ships it out. So they do have one of those.
Oh man, you better get it now. But anyways, that's
the internet, Michael.
What's that?
There's not enough difference.
Just flooded the internet.
There's not enough difference. So aesthetically, and topology wise, but you can even look at the inside of both of those, and it's like, without even looking at the specs, I was like, oh, the Monolith does have bigger toroidal transformers, so it's probably less distortion. But that's when you're pushing it, at max wattage. So that's one of those things where, anyway, it's hard. It's really hard to tell.
Like they said though, take a look at these Buckeye amps. Also, they're a great bang for the buck too.
Yeah, Dylan will actually be there.
Those are class. Those aren't class A, B though.
They're class D.
They're class D, yeah. So if heat in your room is a thing, you want to go with class D. Those ABs, they will get warm.
Yeah.
AB amps are heaters.
Yeah. And one thing that's kind of interesting that I found out with Dylan, so he's a small guy. I mean, like literally it's Dylan. He's making these amps. He buys the Hypex modules. He buys the in-core modules. And he builds it into his chassis and, all that stuff. But he can also do kind of like custom stuff. So if you reach out to him, you're like, hey, I'd really like this. He'll see if he can kind of build that to spec. It may cost you a little bit more. But he's one of those guys. He's not out to get rich on this thing. He started off in the ABS forum.
Or do they have one?
Yeah, he started off in the ABS forum, and he just saw a need. He's like, man, I could make these amps a lot cheaper than this other company. And so he's going to be there this year with his amps. So he's actually our platinum sponsor. And I'm not throwing that out there because of that, but what he's doing in the space is just definitely making some waves. So if you haven't heard about him, definitely at least give him a look and see if that's a good fit.
I know that Chuck Seabig, he switched his Parasound amps to the Buckeyes.
Yep.
So he's happy with them. So
yeah.
And like you said, if you need a 7-channel, I think they can go make a 7. They can make a 7-channel for you.
You got 2, 4, 6. I think there's an 8.
8.
Yeah,
and then
8, 6, 4, 2.
And you got the Hypex. And then if you really want to go, the Purify, like super low noise floor distortion on these. If you want to really control what you're.
And some of these amps are pushing a lot of power too. That's what's crazy.
Yeah,
pretty high powered.
Class D, man, it's totally different than what it was back in the 80s.
Yep.
Back in the 80s, Class D, you were looking at 1,000 watts, probably like 15-20% distortion, and we were using them for subwoofers. Nowadays it's like now it's like 0.01%. You're like, what? But
nice. You can do custom
Technology
colors.
has improved quite a bit. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a lot of options there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And actually, now that I think about it, he's actually going to be on our podcast this coming up Sunday night. Dylan.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Man.
And he's going to be sharing about some new products that he's going to be announcing. So
tune in.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah, be good.
So
Yeah,
C-Big says there's no
yeah.
7-channel. 8-channel is cheaper to do. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
And topology wise, if you were, it kind of makes sense because you want everything to be even and precise whenever you're dealing with
Big Jack says the Hypex modules are stereo pairs, so that makes sense why it didn't offer for the odd.
Yep.
Nice. That makes sense.
All right. Well, I just wanted to make sure everybody got their question answered.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll try this again. Thank you, everyone, for joining the show.
Hey, I got another topic. Can I just run this?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
like
the
Brad
show,
always
man.
says. Real quick. This one thing.
Hey,
Hold on.
You can keep talking, Michael. It might bring more subscribers, so keep talking. We got you all night.
I'll throw this out there. We don't have to talk about it, but I learned something new this week or last week during our podcast. Is that I didn't realize that the UMIC 1, there's a company that actually does calibration for them. So you pay a little bit more, but it's calibrated, I believe they said down to 5 hertz. And so the standard UMIC 1 is only calibrated down to 20 hertz.
Oh.
So, and that makes sense why every time I take a measurement down at the low numbers, there's like this hump. I don't know if you guys have noticed that when you measure.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, interesting. Yeah. So I reached out to them because I'm like, well, shoot, I want to get one that'll measure like accurately down to 5 hertz.
You need to get away from you, Mike, and just buy a $300 mic. That's a true.
I can do that.
They're not that much more expensive to get a legit one that will go up to like 130, 140. I don't even know what the UMICs go to. UMICs are great. It is a great tool. It is.
Which one?
Really affordable. There's all kinds.
So which one would you recommend though to replace?
So the one I was talking about, if you look in Big Jack mentioned it, it's called Cross Spectrum Labs.
Cross Spectrum. Yeah, they do a specific calibration because they have high end calibrated mics. So they'll take that and then profile specific corrections to that. But even then, I think the UMICs only go up to like 115 or 120 dB.
Only? I mean, how much more you need, Croson? This ain't Scott Newbie Land.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I mean, I don't need a higher than 120 dB. I dang sure don't need that.
You're probably pushing.
I know. Michael ran out of mic room when he was measuring his JTR.
HTP1.
So he couldn't go any louder.
I remember that. Yeah, I was doing compression testing, and I got to the top, and the volume on the HTP1 was maxed out. I'm like, well, that's wild. So
yeah, I need to get the UMIC too because I have the UMIC 1.
Mm-hmm.
The price is not bad for the calibrated with the cross spectrum for the UMIC.
Yeah, they're not that much.
It's just a little bit more. Now, here's the thing, though. Like I did see if you go to their website, there is a. Oh, where's it at? Yeah, just be sure to look down at the bottom. It says shipping update April 26, 2024. We apologize for the lack of updates. UMIC 1 mics are currently unavailable. Combination of health issues, equipment issues, and project schedules have consumed the bulk of our energy as of late, and we haven't had time to focus on microphones. We'll continue to sell calibrated microphones and meters. We do have some units in stock that we haven't been able to process and offer for sale yet. We just need a little patience from everyone. I've reached out to them on the website. They haven't responded. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah, they need to put that like bold so everyone can see.
Sounds like they don't need any more promotion from youthman.
Probably not at this point.
50,000 orders.
But I was looking. I want to see what the UMIC 2 is. It rated any lower?
It's the same. The only thing that it does is it's USB-C.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
There's no difference in that.
I don't see the.
Which is a big thing, because that USB mini is horrible on those things. So many people break those things, and they.
For sure.
Anyways. Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought I'd bring that to your attention. So
Sweetwater sells, true calibrated mics,
Mm-hmm.
XLR mics for, $300. And I mean,
yeah,
sure, that's a lot more than $100 U mic.
Yep.
But
and
they're
$100
getting up
sometimes is
there
a lot,
too.
so
It
you got to
is.
do
It is.
afford.
But
Absolutely.
if you're in the business, just
Yep.
get the $300 one, man. Don't get a U mic. But yeah, for all the rest of us, oh yeah,
I
U mics
represent the
are-
common man. I mean, let's
Yeah,
face it.
that is absolutely
I
yes.
want to make
Yeah,
sure that
yeah.
you guys know what's, you can get a decent measurement with it for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. It does more
You got the
than
money like an Omni mic, spend a couple $100, $300.
Yep.
Get one that Kristen's talking about.
Exactly. Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, Don, back
Well,
to you,
look,
buddy.
we definitely appreciate you. We definitely appreciate you joining us,
Third
Mike.
try.
Hey, by the way, next time invite Ryan. I mean, he's more than
Yeah.
welcome to come on. Also,
I don't ever I don't ever invite. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel the freedom to say, "Hey, man, come on over here," to anybody.
No, absolutely.
Dude, he might not want to be on here.
We would
He's
love
like,
that is true.
Yeah.
I
That
don't want to talk
dumbass
to them.
Don and that stupid Paul. No.
Well, he might request Mr. Fister again.
No,
so
mercy.
we'll see.
Okay. Time
Wet
to call it a
face.
night. Go ahead and roll us out, Don.
All right. Thank you, everyone, again for joining Home Theater Hub. We definitely appreciate it. Ike and Mike and Paul, thank you for starting the show off without me. Thank you again, everyone, for joining. Once again, if you'd like to be on the show, show us your theater, talk about home theater, whatever you'd like to do. If you'd like to join us, go ahead and send us an email at hometheaterhublive@gmail.com. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Thank
Have a
you.
great week, guys.
Bye.